All right, Marty, thanks. And while the Sprint Cup teams try to digest what they've just learned in their final practice, it's time for a whole new learning experience for the drivers and teams of the NASCAR Nationwide Series. The Next Generation Nationwide Series car races for just the 4th time ever, and for the very first time here at the Charlotte track. The look of the new cars, the distinctive lines taken directly from their street cousins have really hit a positive note with NASCAR fans, and thus far leveled the playing field on a circuit where one team and one driver have been dominant this year. We'll figure out best who can make that new car go fastest on this mile and a half, and who'll take home the trophy at the end of 300 miles tonight from Charlotte.
10, 9, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, ignition.
ESPN welcomes you to NASCAR Countdown for a race with a lot of different angles and interest. A fast Friday night 300-miler from the Charlotte Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina. The hometown of the sport. There's uptown Charlotte, and just a little while away, a few miles as a matter of fact by air, the Charlotte Motor Speedway, where all the families and friends are here. Lots of neighbor-to-neighbor bragging rights are on the line. Another storyline, a season winding down with a champion to be crowned in just 5 more races. But we begin with the first run at this track for the next generation car, the machine that'll be used full-time next year, being introduced with 4 races this season. It started July 2nd at Daytona. The car debuted with Dale Earnhardt Jr. scoring a very popular win in a number 3 machine, attributing to his late father. August 14th in Michigan, it was Brad Keselowski dominating and winning in his home state. And September 10th, Kevin Harvick had the field chasing him to the checkers in Richmond. 3 different type tracks, 3 different winners. Race number 4 is this one. Keselowski starts 3rd here. What's he looking for in the new car's Charlotte debut, Jamie?
Well, he's one of just 3 drivers who finished in the top 10 with the new car at all 3 of those tracks, but this is the first time on a mile and a half. Kyle Busch has been really good on these style tracks. You've never won. Is this going to be the equalizer with this car?
I think so. It has been all year for us. We've seen that our challengers have been extremely good. So felt like we had a car to win Daytona. It just didn't work out. Got the win at Michigan. Really close at Richmond. And I think tonight our car is the best it's been of all. So it's going to be really exciting. I think our car on the short runs is really, really fast. We need short runs to win the race. And this place usually comes down to that end, that short run. So I think we can get that at the end, we can win.
You guys put a lot of time and effort into this car. He'll roll off 3rd. Alan?
All right, Jamie, thanks. The hometown track to the teams and most of the drivers in the sport is home to our ESPN pit studio tonight. But with all these lights on around us and inside the studio, I'm glad the electric bill isn't coming to my home. Alan Bestwick alongside 2-time Charlotte winner Rusty Wallace, NASCAR team owner Brad Daugherty, and 7-time Charlotte winner Ray Evernham.
Man, y'all are pretty good, huh? Man, 7 times, wow.
The 4th race for the new car, the first time at this track. What are we going to see?
Well, first of all, we're going to see a really fast race tonight, no doubt about that. I mean, it's really cool temperatures here. But, Brad, one concern I've got is turn 4. We saw a lot of slipping and sliding up in that turn 4. Saw some spins, a couple crashes, stuff like that. That's one thing I'll be looking at. The other thing is there's a lot of unknowns here with this brand-new car. Really don't know what to expect because it's the first time here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway with the new car, although the car looks great.
You know, that's interesting you say it. When you talk to the young guys, when I talk to the young guys, Colin Brown or Parker Kligerman or Trevor Bain, they like where they're at with this race car because there is so many unknowns. They think it kind of levels the playing field and puts the game back in the driver's hands. And if you talk to the veteran guys, Martin Truex, Carl Edwards, Steve Wallace, they all say the same exact thing. It puts the game back into the driver's hand until someone figures this race car out and moves away. So we could see a very competitive race this evening.
You're right, and you'll probably see a lot of surprises. You'll see a lot of changes early. As you said, these guys don't have a lot of experience with these cars, so they qualified it. It was warm. Now it's much cooler. They don't even know how much tape to put on this thing. So I think you're going to see a lot of pit stops early, spring rubbers going in, out, and even some tape going on the front of these race cars.
Yeah.
Interesting to see. Something we have seen here in the past a lot is Kyle Busch and Joe Gibbs Racing dominating. In fact, at this track, Kyle Busch has won 4 of the last 5 Nationwide Series races and would have won the 5th if not for a rain shower that twisted things a little bit. He's been amazing here, to say the least. But the Gibbs team hasn't had the new race car figured out to the extent they have the old style. In the 3 new car races, Kyle has 3 top 10 results, but no wins, and hasn't done a lot of leading. Ditto for Logano and Hamlin, not what we're used to seeing from this team. Ray, why have the Gibbs guys been off with this car, and will it be different tonight?
Well, I think they were putting a lot of effort into their other cars, first of all, and I think they've realized recently by testing that some of the body differences were bigger than they thought. And it's hard to get off of something when you have a lot of success. They had to get off of the things that they were doing that won them so many races with the other car, going a little bit different direction. They have found some things in aero and front-end geometry that I think is going to make this new car for them a lot faster tonight.
They've got a lot of pieces and parts ready to get themselves back on track with this new car. They've qualified 4th and 10th here tonight for this race here tonight, but we're used to seeing those guys 1st and 2nd.
Yeah.
Now, they've got their tools at the shop. They tell me to get this car back where it was with the older car, but still, I think it's going to be really tough. Number one reason is the cars are very close to the same, the body style on this car versus the old car.
All right,
and because of that,
sorry.
I'm seeing it happen. I'm seeing a big spread from what I'm accustomed to.
Didn't mean to get into the back bumper on you there, pal. So sum it up for us, Big Brad. The Gibbs guys win tonight or not?
Gibbs guys win tonight. I'll tell you why, because I do believe they have figured out some things with this race car. Like Ray was talking about, the old car, the body was a little bit smaller. There was some larger surface areas on that body, and they were able to run this car basically wide open, talking about the old car. The new car, they struggled just for a couple of races, guys. We're only talking about 3 races. They didn't lose it all. They found some stuff, and right now, they're back up front. They'll win it again tonight.
And like Rusty said, they did qualify well. All right, coming up on NASCAR Countdown, the crash that ended Danica Patrick's race in California last Saturday has been the subject of some discussion this week. James Busher, the driver involved with Danica, was it on purpose? And does she need to issue a payback to make a stand against the boys? We'll talk about it when we continue on NASCAR Countdown.
It's like it could be the countdown to the throwdown.
Tonight marks the first and only time Danica Patrick has ever returned to a racetrack where she's actually driven a stock car.
Danica trying to get underneath Busher, currently in that 19th position.
Use that air off, getting out of the corner there.
She's doing a great job.
Keep doing it, girl. Doing good.
She is 9.7 seconds behind the race lead in 16th position. Beginning of the race, Danica Patrick said her goal is to finish in the top 15. Right now, she is 14th.
They're reminding her, don't let them push you around. Hold her ground. It's like,
Look out, Danica!
Turn hard. Stay low. Hold the brake. You got a big wreck there.
She was running 14th.
We had a decent car to start, and we were able to sort of hold our ground. We lost a few spots, but kind of sort of settled in, and I think that we're getting closer. I really do.
She did a great job, had a good car, worked her way all day, learned a lot, and made a lot of passes. Very good.
Well, Danica Patrick is, again, one of the 43 drivers getting ready to go tonight, as is 20-year-old James Busher, who'll drive the 10 car here. Late in last Saturday's California race, as you saw, Patrick and Busher made contact racing for position twice. The second time, with about 10 laps to go, sending Patrick's car into the outside wall and igniting a conversation about whether Busher intentionally wrecked Patrick and whether Danica needed to draw a line and issue a payback on the track soon. Both drivers were asked to comment on the situation.
I think it's pretty sure to say that at this point in time, I'm not going to make it my mission to go out there and take them out, because I don't want anything to take away from my race. But if he starts to, I mean, if he in any way starts to act up out there, yeah, I'm going to do something about it, because it's not, I hope that after he thinks about what he did last weekend.
If somebody thinks that it was my fault, that's their opinion. But, you know, we're just hard racing into the race and trying to finish as best we could.
I mean, he had an opportunity. I mean, we had rookie meetings yesterday morning. I mean, we are pitted in the garage right next to each other. I mean, there's an opportunity if he wanted to say something.
We haven't talked about it. I haven't talked to Danica. She hasn't talked to me. But it's the end of the race, 10 laps to go. We're going fast. We're all in a bunch. Everybody's trying to get all the spots they can. Last I checked, 15th paid better than 16th. So, I mean, we're going forward.
Okay, first, I love how it always works in this sport. The two people that tangle on the track are parked right next to each other in the garage the next week. Your opinion? Did he dump her or not?
Oh, yeah, he wrecked her, without question. I mean, if you look at where his car ends up after the spin, he absolutely turned her. Anytime somebody gets hooked right into the wall, they're wrecked on purpose.
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with what Brad said. He definitely dumped her, no doubt about that. I mean, I was a little bit unsure until I saw the video from the very backside where nobody was even close to him, and then we saw the video from the front where he just hung a left and took her out. I thought it was a cheap shot. I didn't like it.
All right, now some have said Danica needs to take a stand and issue a payback to not let a trend begin. Some say not yet. What say you?
I say she's right. She shouldn't have let it affect her race. This girl's a professional. She does a good job, and she's thinking right. But if he acts up, and I thought that she's funny, if he starts acting up, she'll straighten him out. But you know what? I have never been a big fan of driving off the front bumper. I think she's smart worrying about her own race and not worrying about him.
What do you think?
I don't like going and wrecking other people's cars because you're mad at somebody. I would rather go out there and talk to the driver and work it out that way. I mean, I just don't like tearing people's stuff up. I mean, I'm not for that. I would have got out of the car and went to Danica. Said, Danica, I don't like how you roughed me up a little bit, and that's the reason I'm having a problem with you.
Well, the problem is what happened with those guys. But if you think about it, they took 5 other race cars out. Yeah. That is the problem. And if she was driving my race car, I would wholeheartedly ask her to go out and bust whoever's butt it is that wrecked her. You need to draw a line in the sand in this sport, because if you don't, you'll get pushed around, just like Rusty used to push Jeff Gordon around when Ray was crew chief.
When he said, I don't believe in wrecking people's cars, I was like, what?
And that's why I had holding my arms out while you were talking about it, because Ray had that look on his face. Let me move forward here just for a minute.
You know that you had it coming. Me? This is a different situation we're talking about.
I was sitting on the pit box.
Okay. All right, let's stop living in the past here. I want to move forward just a little bit. Actually, no, I want to look in the past for just a minute, because James Busher has had a couple of other tangles with people on the track so far this season. There was Bristol back in the spring when he and Trevor Bayne tangled. Most folks looked at that and figured it was a payback. Then he and Jason Leffler tangled at Nashville. There was a payback, and then a payback to the payback as Leffler came back out onto the racetrack. The drivers aren't paying for a repair in these cars. Give me a team owner's perspective on this.
Yeah, well, like I said, as an owner, you don't want to damage other people's equipment, much less your own. But you do not want a driver that gets pushed around on the racetrack as well. And what we've seen, Danica did get into James Busher. Let's give him a little bit of support here throughout the race a couple of times. But it was accidental. It was just incidental contact. What he did was just took her out at the end of a race. That's totally different.
When you hook somebody in the right rear quarter panel and turn them head under the wall, it's a cheap shot.
Yeah.
And this kid's 20 years old. He's got an opportunity to impress a lot of people in different ways. And as a car owner, he's not going to impress me by wrecking other people's race cars.
One thing Brad said earlier that I forgot totally about. He took out 5 other cars with him. It just wasn't these 2.
Oh,
so
I got
a problem right there.
Yeah.
All right, well, we move ahead to tonight then, and we'll keep an eye on them. Vince Welch, Danica starts 18th in this one.
You want to turn around the other way? Or? The most dangerous part of the whole race is riding around on the truck, making sure we hold it. Hey, Mark Martin got in your car on Wednesday and spent a couple of hours in it. What did you learn from Mark and his feedback?
It was just nice to have somebody that you could so trust to get in the car and feel it out. And the setup's close, it's right there, and just to be able to see those throttle traces and everything. When we do test days, we get a chance to have telemetry and be able to see that, and that was really nice to be able to see. I'm so used to that in IndyCar, and I feel like I look at it and sometimes I think, let's stop looking at it so much, and then I come over here and don't have it, and I think, oh man, I'd die to have that sort of help. But learning a lot. I feel like in the last week or two, we've Tony Jr. and I have really kind of hit a stride that hopefully lasts, and hopefully it means I'm really learning, and he's learning my style. He catches on really quick. He's really good with the race sims, trying to get the car right for me. So I'm lucky to have a guy like that, and I think the GoDaddy car is going to have a decent night. If we can get through that first run and stay on the lead lap, like I said at Fontana, we'll have a good night.
We'll see how it goes tonight, Alan. And by the way, earlier today, they announced that Danica would run a similar schedule next season as to what she ran this season, including the first 4 races of the 2011 campaign.
And just another new thing to learn about NASCAR, how to do the interview when riding around the back of the pickup truck after driver introductions. There are 12 drivers in tonight's field under the age of 25. The Nationwide Series long a place for young drivers to come and prove themselves against the best in the business. Well, if it seems like the drivers are younger and younger and younger as they get to the big time, it's because they're starting to race at younger and younger ages. Here's an example.
When he puts the helmet on, he's not the same sweet little kid that he is.
Ray is a bit aggressive. I don't think I'd have it any other way, though.
He's not afraid to put his nose in a hole that's there, and that's what I like about him. He's aggressive, but he does it the right way.
My name is Greg Alding. I race cars for a living, but I don't even have a driver's license.
You wouldn't know he was 12 years old. He gets in there and we beat him up just like we would anybody else, and he doesn't get out and complain.
So to have a good friend like him to let me race over here, it's just so fun. It just separates the men from the boys.
Gray's had a lot of success in his first year of Legends racing, which is surprising to me and a lot of people for his age.
Every time I tighten it up, we're too tight.
Yeah, so I think we should leave it alone.
It's the first time you listened all year.
The first thing my son ever raced was a four-wheeler. He was 3 years old. At 4, he was on the motorcycle. And then at 8 years old, when traded in the leather suit for the four wheels, we got him in the bandolera.
I won my first championship in that on 4 wheels, and hopefully this year, you know, we're going for a second championship on 4s.
Well, with his results and his demeanor, if you talk to him, you'd think he's 25 years old.
My name is Greg Galding, and this is my track.
We usually hear the door shut around 6:45 to 7 o'clock in the morning. Greg comes down to his track and gets a good workout in before his day starts.
I love being out there. The sun's just coming up, and you know, having the daily exercise right before I go to school. I do push-ups, sit-ups, run, do whatever it takes to be the best.
You need to execute a crossover move, and then after you pass me, you need to make sure you protect your position so I can't pass you back. When it comes down to racing, the crew chief and the car can be as good as they can be, but the driver has got to take it to the next level.
My name is Greg Galding, and I'm a role model. Man, I had the same wheel you had. Couldn't see over the steering wheel, so I had to get a wheel like that. Good job, man. Thanks, you too. Can I get the Greg Galding's grilled cheese?
You want to do it the way you always do it?
Yes, sir. You know it.
Being nice and polite and everything else that he offers, I think that's another reason why he's on the menu.
It's the Greg Galding's grilled cheese. It's $6.99 at Red Rock. It comes with tomato soup or fries. That's great. NASCAR is going to be the right thing for me. If you ask somebody who's Denny Hamlin, they know, and hopefully one day, you know, if somebody asks who's Greg Galding, they'll for surely know who he is. My name is Greg Galding. One day I will be a NASCAR driver.
Well, Greg Galding recently locked up the Legends Car National Championship at 12 years old, the youngest ever to do so. Who knows? You might see him in this nationwide series when he turns 18.
That's great. Great piece.
I'll tell you, his parents should be very proud of that young man. He's got it all together.
When we come back, the man who starts on the pole, just introduced to the crowd, Clint Boyer, and pit problems prompt changes for Kevin Harvick or not. We'll follow up on NASCAR Countdown from Charlotte. Tomorrow night, Terrell Pryor and the #1 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes face a tough road test, traveling up to Madison for a meeting with John Clay and the Wisconsin Badgers. College football prime time presented by Hampton Hotels. ESPN tomorrow at 7 Eastern, also available online and on your phone.
Boise State. I keep saying Boise State.
Wait for the BCS show on Sunday. Getting ready to go here at Charlotte for tonight's NASCAR Nationwide Series 300-miler. Qualifying for the race was held this afternoon. And it was former series champ Clint Boyer setting the fast time, edging Ryan Newman by 72 one-thousandths of a second to record his first Coors Light Pole Award at Charlotte in the Nationwide Series. And the 33rd pole for Richard Childress Racing. Let's hear from Kansas Clint with Dr. Jerry Punch.
All right, Alan, this has got to be a dream for a driver, Clint. No points, no standings to worry about. So how aggressive are you willing to be to get Richard Childress Racing back in victory lane in a nationwide car tonight?
You know, you really can't be any more aggressive than you always are. You always give it 100%. You better, you won't be in this sport long. But the Zaxby Chevrolet is a good car. The guys really worked hard in the practice session and everything that we had Thursday, and led us to a good run there and qualifying. Hopefully we can stay up front, keep that track position, and win this thing.
All right, Alan, look for Clint Boyer to light the fires early here tonight in his Chevy.
Yeah, and watch out for those pit signs there.
Boy, they got me. If it had been me, yeah, they'd clip my head off.
In order to set up our next story for tonight, we flash back again to last Saturday's California race. Kevin Harvick had a strong car. He led the most laps, but each time he came down pit road, things went wrong. He lost 5 spots on this stop. Came back from that to eventually race all the way up and take the lead from Kyle Busch. Crew not all that happy with that first stop. Goes back up, takes the lead from Kyle Busch on the outside. But then the final pit stop went wrong too. Harvick lost 4 spots on the final stop and ended up 3rd with what was a potentially winning race car. Kevin said after the race, there will be changes. Jamie, have there been?
Well, I talked to his crew chief, Ernie Cope, earlier today, and he told me there have been 3 races this year where their pit crew team cost them the win, including the last 2 races. He went on to say he was very surprised to find out this week when Kevin Harvick got in the office, he didn't fire anybody. Now, keep in mind, the 29 crew on his cup side of things are going to pit the car tonight and for the remainder of the companion races. Now, as far as the crew from last week, the regular crew, they will get one more shot next week at Gateway. As far as Kevin's communication with them, he told the team, keep practicing. Alan?
All right, Jamie, thanks. Kevin starts 14th tonight. Short on time, so some quick bullet points here. Kevin reacted on the radio pretty strongly to that race team after the bad pit stops. The pluses and minuses of the driver reacting vocally to the pit crew, and they have a problem.
Well, they've said that Kevin blows off the steam. People know him up. Once he blows off the steam, he gets back behind those guys. So I think it's never a good thing, but they know Kevin's personality, and they seem okay with it.
Yeah, Kevin's got a great deal invested in this race team, and so he's really got his heart, sweat, and soul into this thing. So he reacts very harshly. Kevin's a great guy, though. He just wants the best from his race team.
I think you got to give Kevin a break on this particular one. I mean, he lost 3 races so far while he's leading. The pit crew lost him the races. I mean, they got to take a little heat because he's driving hard.
Yeah, he is.
All right, some subtle differences between the new Nationwide car and the old one for teams to adapt to in this race. Tim Brewer in our Craftsman Tech Garage can show us. Tim?
Thanks, Alan. The old configuration of nose, it had the grill opening and the air dam, and these guys had it down to a science, what they needed to do to make downforce. The new nose, the tape configuration, is going to be a challenge tonight. We're going to use air pressure to adjust the car, as well as the wedge and the track bar. But NASCAR gives us a couple of options back here at the rear. We can either use this half-inch addition to the rear spoiler, a 1-inch, an 1.5 inches, or a 2-inch. But coupling the balance of the front with the rear is going to be a challenge for the teams tonight. Alan?
Finely tuned machine if it's going to go to victory lane tonight. So, how will the pit crews play into this one? Will there be another different winner in the next generation car? Or will the Gibbs guys show they're onto it and keep Kyle's Charlotte winning streak going?
We'll let you know in 2 hours. How's that?
I'll take a little bit over on the time.
Okay,
and I agree. We have no way to find out until we see these 300 miles run. The opening ceremony coming up next for a fast Friday night in the sport's hometown, Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte Motor Speedway, always the splashy showplace of the sport. Tonight the show is the NASCAR Nationwide Series, running at this famed 1.5 miles for the 58th time, our ESPN coverage, presented by Hellman's. The list of past winners here, incredible. Allison, Earnhardt, Waltrip, and Ard, just to name a few. Any driver would love to have his name alongside those greats with a win tonight. Well, one driver, Kyle Busch, can put his name on top of all those greats. A win tonight would break a tie with Mark Martin for most wins at this track in this series. Let's go trackside for the opening ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats as the Washington High School Junior ROTC Payback Battalion presents our nation's colors. Remain standing as Commanding Officer of the Naval Chaplaincy School and Center of Fort Jackson, South Carolina, Chaplain Mike Langston offers tonight's invocation.
Let us pray. Eternal Father, you are indeed strong to save. As we gather in this Speedway tonight, I ask your blessings and care to be upon the drivers, the owners, the pit crews, NASCAR officials, and the thousands of fans in attendance at this race. Oh God, may your protection and safety be with us always as we enjoy this night's race. Bless our country, our leaders, and our military personnel, especially those on the front line standing in harm's way, defending our way of life and our freedoms. God bless America. In Christ's holy name I pray. Amen.
To honor our troops, please place your right hand over your heart as Carmen Coulter performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were
were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the hope of the brave?
Well, it's time to go racing in NASCAR's version of the Backyard Brawl. Family, friends, and neighbors of the drivers and team members are here for the excitement and hoping to be part of a celebration after 300 miles. The engines fire and the race begins next.
NASCAR Nationwide Series at Charlotte is presented by Hellman's, the mayonnaise that's real and delicious. Hellman's. And in part by Nationwide Insurance. Enter this code at codespotter.com for a chance to win a Roush Ford Mustang.
Charlotte, the Queen City of the Carolinas. Downtown, or as they call it, uptown around here. Sparkling out over the grandstands in Turn 2, the bright lights of the Charlotte Motor Speedway sparkling as well, gleaming off 43 NASCAR Nationwide Series cars as they get ready to rocket around here for 300 miles. Let's reset some of the stories of this race from pit road, beginning with Dave Burns.
Alan, take a race car that has never seen the racetrack before. Take a race team that has never even raced the new Nationwide car and combine it with a driver who is a two-time champion in this very series, and you've got a possible upset winner crossing this start-finish line first tonight in Martin Truex Jr. Doc?
Well, Dave, Joey Logano has 6 poles and 2 wins in 2010, but none of those have come on races where they have run the brand new Nationwide Series car. Now, the engineers have worked really, really hard to make this new car turn in the corners. They also say they have an aero package tonight that allow the car to be free enough to run full throttle coming up off the corner. The team says the car is better in race trim than it was in qualifying trim. If that's the case, look for Joey Logano to be a major factor here tonight. Jamie?
Well, Doc, Ryan Newman and this James Finch #1 led team are looking to make their final start of the year. Why? Well, lack of sponsorship is one, but they're also focusing their efforts on their cup side of things. So tonight, they want to go out on top. And from the looks of qualifying, it looks like they could do just that. They went out and qualified second in this brand new race car, and they feel like they could get to victory lane tonight. It's Ryan Newman's best start of the year. We'll see what he has for the race. Vince Welch?
Well, Kyle Busch will start 10th tonight, and that's a bit of a surprise because that's a little further back than Kyle's used to starting. And his crew chief, Jason Ratcliffe, told me they were not happy with their car in qualifying this morning, but they were very happy with their car during practice last night in these cooler conditions similar to what we have here this evening. He said they definitely set up the car for these conditions. Are they going to have the car they had in qualifying, or are they going to have the car they had last night in practice? That's the million-dollar question, and Ratcliffe said he's as anxious as anybody to find out. Alan?
I'll bet the rest of the competition is anxious to find out, too, how good that car is going to be with Kyle Busch at the wheel tonight. Vince mentioned it is cool out. Temperature forecast to drop through to 53 degrees during time of the race. Been watching that wind all day and thinking about how it might affect the cars as you see that flag blowing pretty hard there down the backstretch.
Yeah, it was pretty windy today, really affecting the way the cars are handled, but it looks like it's kind of turned around now. It's actually blowing towards the exit of turn 2, and today it was blowing towards turn 3, so I think it'll affect the car a little bit.
All right, so cool night, extra grip, extra speed, but with extra speed, extra mayhem.
And maybe a little less fuel mileage, maybe.
Yeah, we'll find out. Lots of unknowns as we get ready to go 300 miles tonight with the next generation Nationwide Series car. Let's get it started.
Race fans, it's time for the most famous words in motorsports. Here to give the command, please welcome our Grand Marshal, Senior Manager of Corporate Events for Dollar General Corporation, Laura Rutledge.
Drivers, start your engines!
Crank them up, gang.
Yeah, man. Sounds good. All right, buddy. Let's make sure on that.
Crank it up.
All practice all day.
Nicely done. And so we are ready to go racing tonight in Charlotte. I mentioned the list of past winners in this series here, being a who's who of the sport. Included on that list a couple of times is one of our men upstairs getting ready to take you through the race. Two-time Charlotte Nationwide winner Dale Jarrett, sporting that hot-looking tie tonight, along with Andy Petrie and Marty Reed. Andy's got you on the tie tonight.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And I'm just chopped liver. I know that, Alan. But thanks. Great to be with everybody again. Glad you could join us. You know, normally we don't try and snow you. Normally we're talking about Kyle Busch. After all, he's won 12 of the 25 races he's been in. And if he had to run all 30 and had just his average finish, he'd be leading the points by 370. But with this new car, it's a different game.
It is a little different. I mean, Kyle Busch and Joe Gibbs Racing have done an extremely good job with that old car. And that old car had a lot more lenient rules, body rules and chassis rules. And they did a good job of taking advantage of that. And they've really had the advantage over every other team. And now that we have this new car, it is definitely going to change because this car is in a lot tighter box for the teams. Everybody will have a lot more similar aero and chassis setup. So I don't think they're going to have the same advantage. That's not going to say that they're not going to win because it's still Kyle Busch and Joey Logano, but they won't have that same advantage that they had.
Yeah, and I'm going to go a little further back with a couple of guys that I've seen adapt to this new car a little bit better than some others and maybe give them a fighting chance and a lot of hope that they can run up in the top 5. Ricky Stenhouse has really done a good job with this new car, and Reed Sorensen also. So let's see if these two guys get an opportunity to get up there and battle for a win possibly tonight.
Well, our in-race reporter is going to be Carl Edwards tonight. We're still waiting for the cars to pull out onto the track. We'll check and see if Carl's still having conversation with his crew. But let's turn around and see if we can talk to him.
Hey, Carl, Dale Jarrett, the ESPN. You have a copy?
I got you, Dale.
Hey, Carl, our first question comes from our mailbag, and Sean, right here in Charlotte, North Carolina, asked, now that you've had 3 races in the new car, how comfortable do you feel going into this race?
I feel pretty comfortable with it. Our Copart.com Fusion, I almost said Fusion, it's a Mustang. My Mustang is good. And the cars here are stuck so well. They're going so fast that you get to take advantage of the aero. So, you know, I feel pretty good. I think you'll see some good racing out of these cars.
Hey, Carl, you've been fast in the Sprint Cup car. You start second. You were fastest in Happy Hour there. You've got a good race car here. Are these cars similar enough in the way that they drive with the tires the same that you're getting a lot of information to take back and forth between the two now?
I was just talking to one of my crew guys about that. The stuff that you change on the cars, you can use some of that, you know, the way the car wants to be positioned on the racetrack. But from a driving standpoint, they drive so much differently. You're so much more on the throttle with this car than you are with that Fusion over there. So it's a little bit tough to transfer driving information, but I think setups are similar.
All right, Carl, you take that cool-looking Mustang you got there and go get them. We'll follow you and talk to you later on tonight.
All right, talk to me anytime, man. They'll get lonely out here.
All right, Carl will start 11th. He's, of course, one of our onboard cameras. Let's show you the rest of them. We'll have Danica Patrick in the GoDaddy.com Chevrolet, Justin Allgaier, the Verizon Wireless Dodge, Kyle Busch in the Z-Line Design Toyota, Brad Keselowski in the Discount Tire Dodge, Kevin Harvick with the Rheem Chevrolet, and Stephen Wallace with the 5-Hour Energy Toyota, and Eric Almirola with the Hellmann's Chevrolet. Well, cars are rolling off, so that means when we come back, we'll turn them loose here at Charlotte. Under the lights at Charlotte Motor Speedway, the NASCAR Nationwide Series getting ready for race number 31. And boy, it is a beautiful sight as the 43 cars make their way around this 1.5-mile oval. And of course, we've talked a lot about the new car. If you're not familiar with it, let's give you this explanation.
Nationwide Series, the next generation. There are many enhancements on the Nationwide's next generation car. Among them are the new non-adjustable splitter, which helps control the balance of the car along with the amount of front travel suspension. The new chassis increases the wheelbase from the current 105 inches to 110 inches. This accommodates the larger center section of the chassis. The new spoiler is at a fixed 70-degree angle that controls the rear downforce. The spoiler extensions may be used to adjust aerodynamic balance. The next generation car has a wider cockpit that sees the driver moved closer to the center of the vehicle, allowing a larger safety distance from the outer skin of the car. The drivers also have more headroom, larger side windows for exit, and a taller front window for vision. Nationwide Series, the next generation.
And there's one thing she didn't say. They really look cool.
They do look cool, and it is all about safety. These cars are going to be a lot safer for the drivers. A lot of things about that, too. But, you know, they also went to a different inspection process, kind of similar to the Sprint Cup cars. So it's just a whole different game these teams will be playing.
Well, as we get ready to go racing, our over-the-wall reporter is going to be Lee Cunningham. He is the rear tire changer for the 99 of Ryan Truex. There he is. You be safe out there tonight, Lee. Thanks for working with us. And as we get ready to take a look at the track facts, I want to tell you about the cars going to the rear as well. The 09 of Brian Scott, the 28 of Kenny Wallace, the 81 of Michael McDowell, all for adjustments. And 24 degrees of banking, and it looked like turn 4 was the real hazard area.
It always has been. It's just a difficult transition. You're carrying so much speed out of that corner, and when you get in racing conditions, you always have to be aware of somebody coming to your outside there. And speaking of the outside, we saw Clint Boyer just now choose the outside to start this race. He is the pole sitter.
Well, let's get a last-minute update from pit road. Doc?
Marty, you saw Clint Boyer make that move. Now, some of the Cup guys might have a bit of an advantage in the early laps here because they just got off the track about 45 minutes ago in NASCAR Sprint Cup Series happy hour. The nationwide regulars expected the cooler temperatures to make the track tighter and have more grip. It happened just the opposite way, according to the Sprint Cup guys in happy hour. The track got looser and looser as their session went on. So the guys now, Newman, Boyer in the front row, Logano, there's Harvick. These guys know the track is very slippery and free right now, and we'll be here in the early laps.
And while we've got a quick moment before we go green, let's take a look and compare track temperatures today from qualifying to right now.
Yeah, you see quite a bit different on that track temp, especially. Even the air temperature is down in the 50s. Track is down in mid-60s. It'll go down a little more than that as this race goes on.
So we get ready as the pace car. The lights are out. They're approaching the entrance to pit road. And there goes the pace car. Clint Boyer, Ryan Newman, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, Martin Truex, and Paul Menard. That is your first 3 rows. As they come down, the fans are on their feet. And the 31st race of the 2010 Nationwide Series is green. Oh, Newman got loose right there. It's going to cost him a spot, maybe 2.
Yeah, these drivers on the inside are going to have to be extremely careful. These cars get arrow loose on the entrance to these corners.
He is falling back. He's going to lose more than 2. 3 wide coming through the corner. Oh, so close to the wall back there. Looked like Colin Brown almost hit it. Leading lap number 1, it's Clint Boyer with Logano right behind him. Menard, Kligerman up to 4th. Kyle Busch is now in 5th.
Jerry Punch was talking about these Cup drivers who just saw that the track maybe loosened up some. What happens, you get more grip. Well, the front grips too, and that makes your car turn better, which in turn can make you very loose.
Justin Allgaier getting around Parker Kligerman. Oh. Kligerman's going around into the wall. Turn 4. We talked about it right before we went green.
That turn has been the best in the business before, and Parker Kligerman.
Nobody touched us, Chris. It just turned around on him.
He's learned that lesson the hard way. Tough corner.
Parker's finishes in the new car. He ran at Daytona, finished 13th, 15th at Richmond, did not compete at Michigan, and tonight's ending real early.
See, Justin Allgaier just gone around him on the inside. He probably lifted a little early, jumped back in the throttle, and it just jumps out from underneath him.
How about from Brad Keselowski's viewpoint?
See, Brad's kind of in the same line as he is.
Deep in 3. He's running the bind side right here, right here. Go low, go low, go low. Come on through here. Caution is out.
Well, you see, that car really snaps around once it gets loose. Really no saving it.
Well, this was Parker's first start here at Charlotte. It's going to be one he will probably want to forget. As you can see, the damage and that whole back half of the 26 is just crushed. Don't forget, Verizon Wireless customers can text Champion to 43776 for exclusive Champion chats. It's content from our NASCAR Now Roundtable of Experts. We're in our first caution here. We've only completed 4 laps after Parker Kligerman managed to tag the turn 4 wall, and they are still got the car down on pit road. You can see the damage. What do you think, Andy? Can they?
No, they're done.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, you see the car just snaps right out. It gets a little bit loose and it just snaps around.
And luckily, everybody else in the field does manage to get down low enough to avoid him.
Yeah, that could have possibly been a lot worse if he would have hit the wall and come back off. But everybody did a nice job. Heads up driving.
And they're pushing him back as it looks like they're heading for the garage while pace car heads for pit road. It is Clint Boyer on the high side again, Joey Logano alongside. Then it's Menard, Kyle Busch, Justin Allgaier, and Ryan Newman, your top 6. And we're back to green flag racing at Charlotte.
Well, Logano got a great start right there.
And we talked about Kyle Busch starting back in 10th. It didn't take him long to get in the top 5, did it?
Along with the 26 going back behind the wall, we can tell you the 36 of Jeff Green is behind the wall as well. Look at his 3 wide going down low.
Yeah, Carl Edwards feeling like his Mustang's pretty racy here.
He's going to ride that horse. Right alongside of the 66, Stephen Wallace. Boyer's out in front. There's Paul Menard. He's tucking up underneath the 12 of Justin Allgaier.
You can see just how the outside or the middle to the top part of this racetrack is really paying benefits right now. You're able to keep the RPMs up, make a lot more speed than what you can see these guys on the bottom.
Kyle Busch is now in second, right behind Clint Boyer. In third, it's Joey Logano with Ryan Newman in fourth. Double zero of Martin Truex is taking a peek underneath Carl Edwards. Truex slides up in front, so he takes over that spot.
Yeah, that was a textbook pass right there. If you're going to try to make that pass on the inside, you're going to really have to time it perfectly to where you've got a nice run and you can put kind of a slide job on the exit of the corner. Now you see Carl trying to make his way back on the inside.
As they come across the stripe. Boy, nice 3-car logjam. Well, we got the 10-car brushing the wall. James Busher,
yeah,
he's got some sparks.
I don't know if he bent something or what, but he's definitely dragging some under the car.
He had gotten up to 17th position. Here it is. Ouch.
Just ran out of room.
That's Eric Almirola underneath him there. And word that Danica Patrick nudged the wall as well.
Yeah, the track just flattens out so much. You go from that 24 degrees of banking to just that straightaway. If your car's pushing just a little bit or you don't have enough air on the nose, it's easy to get into the wall.
She has dropped back to 22nd position. Mark Green, we can also tell you, has just parked it behind the wall.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
And now we've got caution on the racetrack again. Up in the turn 2 area, the 87 of Joe Nemechek.
He's pounded it.
Big damage.
Oh, another car there.
Several cars.
Man. Like Michael Annette, one of them, I can't tell the other car is torn up so bad.
Yeah,
one behind him.
That's a net.
Gosh, Michael Annette's car's torn off. Hey, look at Joe's. Got water.
And, yeah, Joe's got. Also, we're being told it's the 70 of Shelby Howard. So a 3-car crash now here on lap number 10. So we're into our second caution early here, and a lot of brand new equipment is getting torn up.
Sparks flying out of James Busher's car.
You see Michael Annette gets loose here. Right in front of Shelby Howard and Nemechek, nowhere to go.
Man.
Yeah, those two get collected. And remember, Annette had the tire explode last week, ended up going into the wall and taking Brendan Gaughan with him there. They were running 25th, 26th, and 27th at the time of the crash. Tough break for the 92 series champion, Joe Nemechek. He was making his 325th nationwide start, and it's going to end on a very sour note tonight. And he also, the hard part is he's just coming off his best finish of the season. Remember last week at Auto Club, he finished 14th. He won't be that good tonight. Second caution continues. We'll be back with the restart here when we return. Let's talk about the calendar because NASCAR Now will be on tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. and again at 1 a.m. Eastern. And those will both be on ESPN2. And then tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern on ABC, Bank of America 500 right here at Charlotte with Countdown beginning at 7 p.m. And then the NASCAR Nationwide Series next weekend will be over in Gateway, 3 p.m. Eastern Time next Saturday. Okay, let's get some laundry updated. James Buescher came in because he had some damage. Obviously, he's back in 36th on the lead lap. And Mark Green has gone back out on the track. He's 2 laps down in 41st. Doc, what have you got?
Buescher said he just got squeezed up into the wall by the 99 the lap before, and he just bounced it off in the right front, right rear fender. Minimal cosmetic damage. All they pulled it out, 4 tires. He should be good to go.
All right, Doc, let's check in with our in-race reporter.
Hey, Carl, Dale Jarrett, got me?
I got you, Dale.
All right, man. How about first impressions of this new car here at Charlotte and update on track conditions right now?
My first impression is holy moly. It's a combination of a drafting race and a 1.5-mile speedway race. You know, right now the air is such a big deal, and you can get such a run down the straightaway with someone that all the cars seem to be piling on top of each other in the corners. It's going to be a really wild race. And the track has a ton of grip, so you're just knife edge, just hanging on, you know, waiting for that the tires to break loose, and it's going to be a pretty wild race.
Hey, Carl, I know that after the test session on Wednesday that NASCAR gave you some more gear. Is your RPM range still okay, or are you getting up to the upper end of that?
I'm just pushing my button there to see what I got. I think we're going to be okay on that, you know, but if you get a couple cars running together, running the top as the night goes on, you might see some real high RPMs. So it is a long race, and that'll be something we'll have to watch.
Okay, man. Good luck. We'll talk to you later on.
10-4, it's pretty exciting. Hope you guys are enjoying it.
We certainly are, Carl. Thanks for the update. And of the top 10, there are 13 double-duty drivers. 9 of them are running in the top 10. Justin Allgaier in 6th is the only nationwide-only driver in that mix. Kyle Busch in 2nd place. Vince, what are you hearing?
Well, he's won here 6 times. He started 10th tonight. Didn't take him long to get up to 2nd. Here's his evaluation in the early laps of the guy ahead of him, the 21, Clint Bowyer.
Where does this cat come from? What's the lap tracker like? For that last lap through 3 and 4, he pushed up in the middle and still exited good, but he's going to hurt his tires doing that, so he'll be up to the top shortly, I imagine. But the nighttime kind of blinds some of that, you know, how bad it should be.
Kyle also had a long conversation with his crew chief, Jason Ratcliffe, about the details of his race car, and bottom line, not bad. Balance is pretty good, he told Jason, so we'll see how it goes here on the longer run.
All right, thanks for the update, Vince. And I got to update you on Mark Green again. He came back out, ran 2 laps under caution to get ahead of those other cars. He's gone back to park in 38th now instead of 41st. Lights are out on the pace car. Let's reset it for you. You got Bowyer, Busch up on the front row. Logano and Newman in row 2. Brad Keselowski and his teammate Justin Allgaier in row 3. Menard and Truex, Edwards and Sorensen. That is your top 10. So far, we've run 14 laps. Unfortunately, 8 of them have been under caution. Hopefully, we're going to get a nice long green stretch. Pace car has pulled down. The fans have again come to their feet here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Bowyer on the high side, comes down, takes the green flag, and we're racing again. Kyle got a good jump.
Well, he knows he needs to get Clint clear off turn 2. Not going to happen.
Bowyer's momentum. They're side by side. In fact, they're side by side through the first 6 spots. Still going after Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle was pretty loose right there on the inside. Almost got up into the side of Clint Bowyer.
Bowyer gets control of first, and there's Joey Logano now down on the low side. He may get hung out there.
Yeah, and you can see exactly what Carl Edwards was telling us there, that drafting effect. You could see Ryan Newman in the 1 really give the 18 car of Kyle Busch a real push down into the corner.
Joey side by side with the 12 of Allgaier. Newman now comes down low. On board with Allgaier.
See, you just don't want to be on the inside at all on these restarts. Kyle Busch did a good job of getting clear there to get into second after starting on the inside.
The 32 of Reed Sorensen making a little bit of a move further back. There you see him at the right part of your screen. That's Paul Menard right in front of him. And he's side by side with our in-race reporter. Well, now just about a car length behind as Carl gets a little room. Well, the 00 at Martin Truex got up awful high, made it okay around the corner. That's Danica Patrick with the 38 of Jason Leffler right behind. That is a battle for 21st on the racetrack. On board with Danica.
Danica's car looks really good. I mean, she's going through the middle of the corner really fast, staying right on the bottom. Racing some really good cars, too.
Let's get an update from Dave Burns.
And she's really pleased now to be out of that restart traffic. Says it's really bad on the inside of the other cars on the restart. As for the little wall contact we may have seen, very slight. Doesn't feel like it damaged the car in any way. And Detroit right now, as you say, running quite well, except for those restarts. She'd rather be on the high line on those restarts.
Oh, and Andy, you mentioned that during the break, that low line was going to be a test for her.
Yeah, she did a good job with it. I mean, she lost a few spots, but she's back up to speed pretty good right now.
Battle for 4th on the racetrack. Look at Ryan Truex trying to hug that line. Joey Logano trying to split the middle. Can't get enough room.
Jammed up they get. Just like Carl said, that drafting effect must be pretty strong out there.
Joey is tucked up right underneath the 22 of Brad Keselowski. Now Edwards and Truex side by side.
You know, this car is similar in size to the Cup cars, but they have a lot less horsepower, so you're going to get that, that effect that Carl's talking about, that drafting effect. You're going to feel that a lot more.
Truex tucks back in.
It's almost like they have restrictor plates on them because that's what that tapered spacer acts like. And so that air is a lot more important with these cars than we see with the Cup cars.
I'll tell you what, if this is the way these cars are going to race at every mile-and-a-half oval, we've got a nice package going right here. Carl taking a look underneath Truex now.
Yeah, you can see Martin Truex getting a little bit loose there as he entered turn 1. He's able to stay in the throttle and keep some momentum, though. Carl's not able to make the pass.
And right in front of them, Logano's trying to get around Keselowski. He can't do it. Here comes Carl again, looking down low. Let's go back to the battle for the lead because all of a sudden, here comes Kyle Busch. He's going to try the inside underneath Clint Boyer.
Yeah, Kyle Busch got a real good run in the middle of 3 and 4 to carry that momentum, down that front straightaway to get inside Clint. We'll see what he can do here on the inside, though.
Yeah, and what he was talking about that he noticed before this last run started was the 21 car being a little bit tight and that he was probably going to hurt that right front tire. And you could see after they run a few laps that Kyle's able to take over that top spot.
Kyle Busch is going to lead a lap, and that'll mean now he's led 33 laps in the 3 new car races. Michigan was his only race this year that he's running where he has not led a lap, and that was in this new car.
Yeah, Boyer coming back to the high side, trying to trap him down again.
It was almost a slingshot down the front straightaway. You see he gets that big run, pulled up on the outside. Look at this.
Side by side into 3.
This is where Kyle Busch's car is really, really good over in turn 3.
And he's going to take the lead again. Let's look in on Newman and Logano. That's the battle for 5th. Logano had it for a moment. Here comes Newman right back. That's Keselowski right in front of both of them. Right side, you can see Kyle has opened up a bit of ground. Let's get an update, Vince.
Well, Marty, you noted that the Michigan race is the only race Kyle has run this season and not led a lap. Well, this is the same car he ran at that race in Michigan. And that was certainly an item that they were aware of, that they did not lead a lap in that race at Michigan, and they were back with the same car this time. They feel like they have improved so much from where they were at Michigan. They have learned so much more about this car and what it needs from an aerodynamic standpoint. And as Jason Ratcliffe, the crew chief, says, it's sensitive areas. They've had 3 top 10s with the 3 new car in the 3 new car races, and a lot of people have felt like they've been off their game a bit. But they've been pretty strong this weekend in getting ready for this race, and I think we're seeing it already.
Well, let's just ride along. Let's listen to the car and listen to Kyle and the way he's handling the car.
I'm just looking at how much throttle he's carrying all the way around the racetrack. He's barely out of it.
Barely out of the throttle and never on the brake.
I never saw that red light come on the brake pedal.
Well,
I don't think he's looking at it.
Well, we talked about how this was the equalizer. In the old car, Kyle averages 84 laps led this season. In the new car, 11 laps per race.
Where's he running right now, Mark?
I know, he's up front.
Okay.
And that's scary for the rest of the field because he's up to the lap number 5 led and make it 6.
I'm really intrigued by this drafting effect. I mean, I've not seen this, and I don't know why we didn't see it as much. Well, we expected it at Michigan. I guess we did see it there. But you haven't seen it that much here. It's very, very strong. You can see right there, Clint's really not as good through the corners, but he can seem to make it back up just using that draft.
Yeah, but as soon as he tucked down low, tried to go underneath him, he lost it.
Yeah, you could see that he lost a little of his momentum there. He got out of that draft a little bit, and it's hurt him so far.
So after 28, now 29 of 200 laps, it is Kyle Busch leading Clint Boyer, and they are 3 seconds ahead of Justin Allgaier here at the NASCAR Nationwide Series at Charlotte, presented by Hellman's. Make sure to go to Goodyear.com to check out Goodyear's Support Our Troops program. And there you can send a thank you message from a NASCAR driver and enter for a chance to win a 2011 Ford Taurus and other great prizes. And you're looking down from high above. And the Goodyear blimp is the 18 of Kyle Busch has opened up a full second over Clint Boyer. Justin Allgaier's another 2.8 seconds behind second place. And you see Kyle getting into some lap traffic. Now you see that debris on the right side of the grill work there as you look at Carl Edwards' car. Vince, what's going on?
Yeah, definitely an issue for Carl. His water pressure up now to 275. The spotter using the binoculars and says he doesn't see anything that stands out. Carl wants his water temperature gauge moved for next time, having a little trouble seeing it. And he tried to suck up on the back of the cars in front of him to suck that debris off of there, but so far they haven't had any success with that strategy. So we'll see how it goes here, and certainly keep an eye on his water temperature as we go on.
Well, you can see he's running 9th right now in this field, and he's about 9 seconds behind our race leader. Let's go back to the battle for third because Justin Allgaier has been picking him up and putting him down. He's got his teammate Brad Keselowski, the points leader, right behind him, and here comes Brad making a run.
Yeah, I've been watching Justin Allgaier. His car has been extremely fast. Been right on the bottom of the racetrack most times, especially down in turns 1 and 2, and making a lot of time, doing a nice job.
Joey Logano's getting into this mix as well. There you see Joey on the right side. Now he's down low underneath the 22. They're going to go side by side.
I talked to the crew on the 12 car, and they said they had that test session on Wednesday, and they were not good at all. They said they were really struggling, but they seemed to really come around on Thursday, got the car really a lot better, and now he's running really good, sitting there in third.
Well, Justin's had top 10 finishes in his last 3 races, and of course there's a very good possibility he will be out of this ride as here comes Keselowski underneath him. They are shopping his talents around right now, and there's no guarantee of where he'll be next year. So move Keselowski in front of Justin. Joey Logano now trying to take the high line around. Coming up on the 24 of Eric McClure, he is lap traffic. Let's get an update on the points leader, Jamie.
Well, Andy, you were talking about the 12 car and how they weren't very good on Wednesday. Same was true for the 22. They had a lot of changes to go through. Yesterday, they showed up and had a totally different approach. You see Brad Keselowski as the meat in that sandwich as his teammate is on the inside of him. But they set this car up better for a long run. It is getting better, but the spotter's telling Brad, be patient. You can only change lanes so many times, and he's got his hands full right now as you see him slide up, guys, as Brad Keselowski tries to work away.
Trying to get around Mike Bliss, and boy, Logano's got him pinned.
Yeah, first his teammate Justin Allgaier pinned him in behind the lap car, and then you could see Joey Logano take advantage of that same situation and move ahead of him.
So move Logano up to 4th, Brad back to 5th. Just to let you Mike Bliss fans know, he is 33rd right now, 1 lap down. One other car has gone behind the wall now. Kevin LePage is now listed as out of the race. Joey trying to open up some room over the 22, and Justin has pulled away as well.
Anytime you get your momentum broke, it takes a while for these engines to recover because they don't have all of that horsepower. And so it's, again, a lot like a restrictor plate where you have to build that momentum back up.
Let's take a look at Eric Almirola and the 38 of Jason Leffler, as this is a battle for 17th on the racetrack. Leffler has it for the moment. Here comes Almirola. Let's get an update from pit road, Dave.
And Marty, Leffler is up from a 24th starting position, but that car has been running extremely hot. He ran through the grass to avoid one of those early cautions, and he thinks that's what's on the front of this race car on the grill. It's been running extremely hot. They thought they would have to pit early about 10 laps ago, but right now he's keeping it out there and making progress forward.
We're trying to check and see if there is, and nothing that we can notice from here is you can see that 4-car freight train. That's Ryan Truex.
You can see a lot of grass on that grill. And that's the one thing about these new cars in the Cup Series, and now we see with this, is they tend to get a lot more debris on those grills and have more problems with overheating because of that.
Well, you see, this car is designed a little different than the Sprint Cup car. It has that splitter, but it doesn't have that big cavity. But that splitter, when you run through the grass, is just like almost like a lawnmower. It just saws that grass off and puts it right on the grill.
Well, you saw Eric Almirola going around Ryan Truex, and right now you're looking at race leader Kyle Busch, and we should be seeing pit stops soon here at our Nationwide Series race in Charlotte, presented by Hellmann's.
Quarter distance through tonight's Dollar General 300. Make sure to go to NASCAR.com for all your latest NASCAR information. Carl Edwards trying to get some information from the gauges inside of his Ford Mustang and having a little trouble seeing them the way that he would like to. Watch this a minute ago from inside the 60 car and listen to the radio after he makes a little adjustment.
I can see the tach now, or the temp now. That's about 275, I think.
A little manual adjustment at 195 miles an hour. That'll do it.
So Vince Welch was telling us from pit road, apparently where the tachometer was placed on that steering column, he couldn't see the water temperature gauge, so he just moved the tach over. Tim Brewer in our Tasman Tech Garage has got a little show and tell. Tim?
Easy for you to say, Alan.
No, it's
but
not.
anyway, the guy, he's going down the straightaway with his head over in this area right here, and he tries to look through this area, but still yet the tachometer setting in his way. We've got our gauge configuration just a little bit higher. But Alan, I suggest they loosen that thing up and slide it over just a little bit. Maybe he can get a little bit clearer view of that.
Yeah, that's a good way to hurt your hand trying to pound on that thing. All right, now, pit stops about to begin. Ray, why are we going to see early pit stops tonight?
Well, as you know, they increased the gear ratio on these cars about 10 points, and that hurts the fuel mileage. Plus, these cars have a lot more drag, which takes some fuel mileage. Dave?
Ryan Truex had fallen all the way to 14th. Oh, man, big fuel spill, too. This car is all over the place. Front end bouncing, front end bound up. Tight race car. Big swing is what they said they were going to take. And they're having all kinds of fueling issues down here, guys. I'm not sure how much they got in.
And remember that this is not not a full Nationwide Series crew that Martin Truex is working with. He's working with a crew that does the K&N East car for this team. Jamie?
And the 22 of Brad Keselowski, our points leader, is in. Says the car is pretty good. He's really tight up off. 4 tires filling up with Sunoco fuel. No chassis adjustments, Dave.
And the 7 car of Danica Patrick is on pit road right now. Hadn't complained very much about the car except the line that they went to, so they'll make an air pressure adjustment for Danica. 4 tires and clean that grill. It had been running hot. 11 is on pit road. Late in the run, he'd been making up all kinds of time. A little free on top to start the run. He gave up the 12th position when he came to pit road here on lap 54. A 4-tire change for Ruderman as well.
Waiting on the leader Kyle Busch to make his pit stop. Justin Allgaier, Carl Edwards also on pit road. Here comes Steve Wallace and more. Vince?
Yeah, it is indeed Carl Edwards. He's had that overheating issue, but they've cleaned off the grill. Everything is good. He says it's a little free on the gas. They're going to put the track bar down around. Doc?
Justin Allgaier in. 4 tires, fuel, no adjustment, slight air pressure only. Vince?
The 18 of Kyle Busch, he's our leader and has been bad fast. He really likes it. Says it's just a tick snug, but leave it alone. Don't change a thing.
Clint Boyer also in.
Clint Boyer on 4 tires, adjustment to the track bar, so the car has gotten way too tight. He could not get it to turn to the corner, could not run the bottom of the racetrack. Jamie?
Kevin Harvick, you guys remember he had a lot of issues last week. His Cup pit crew hitting him. Great job this time. One round down on the track bar. He's loose. 4 tires. Air pressure adjustment for Kevin Harvick.
car, Menard also complaining the car is tight on entry, tight in the middle, and cannot run the bottom of the racetrack. This is the car that ran so very well with him at Michigan, an old Roush Fenway Cup car that's been converted to a new Nationwide car. He's down and away.
And Ryan Newman headed back out onto the racetrack as well. So that will just about complete the cycle of pit stops. Waiting on Eric Almirola, James Buescher, and about 3 other cars to come down pit road before the lead will cycle back around to Kyle Busch at the end of the stops. Dave?
Ryan Truex is in a 4-tire change scheduled for him. A car that was tight from the center off. We'll make adjustments for him, chassis adjustment, as well as air pressure adjustment for Ryan. True finishing up, Ryan gone.
Eric Almirola gives up the lead. He comes to pit road for a stop. Ryan Scott follows him.
There's the 88 of Eric Almirola. Almirola says it's just a bit too neutral. He's been too loose to start. So they're going to make an air pressure adjustment. 4 tires, clean off that front grille. The 88 of Almirola.
James Buescher has taken over the lead in the cycle of pit stops. Again, 3 cars yet to pit before this cycle will be completed. Now, Carl Edwards is back on the racetrack. And Vince, something for us to look for on this pit stop?
Actually, the issue was as Carl leaves, he just stalled it. There you see it. Wasn't a slower stop from the crew's perspective, but it just stalled trying to get it out of the box.
And Rusty, by rule, they're only allowed to push it 1 pit box away.
Yeah, they're going to have to push that baby back and get it refired up. But he lost a ton of time right there. Saw the engine overheating, blowing a lot of water out.
You know, and that's a good point, Rusty, because that engine overheating could have some part of the reason why he stalled it. You know, it wants to vapor lock that engine. It's really hard to keep it running when it's that hot.
So I think I said 1 pit box a minute ago. It's 3 pit boxes you're allowed to push the car away, but there was a car in front of him in those pit boxes too.
Well, all I can say, guys, is I'm glad that Kyle Busch and Joe Gibbs Racing and those guys haven't figured out this new car quite yet, because I think they're going to stumble on it before the night's over.
Looking at the race leader, the 10-car James Buescher. He, Tony, and Tony Raines have not pitted yet. When they do, that'll hand the lead back to Kyle Busch. Unless Kyle runs him down beforehand. He's only 13 seconds behind him.
Yeah, he's going to run those guys down.
And Kyle has come out of the pit stops with about a 7-second lead on Clint Bowyer. First round of stops done. 18 hold and serve.
Back here at Charlotte, we're under our 3rd caution as our Nationwide Series race presented by Hellmann's. After 65 laps, there is Brian Scott. He got loose, and we're trying to see right here if the 21 touched him.
Yeah, I don't think that Clint Bowyer ever touched him. It looked like he just got up close to his bumper. Brian Scott got extremely loose and couldn't quite save it.
Brian was having a rough night. He was 32nd, 2 laps down when this happened. Of course, he's in that tight Rookie of the Year battle with Ricky Stenhouse, and Kevin Harvick's back in. Jamie?
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Kevin Harvick. His car is just not driving the way he wants it to. Said it was rotating too hard through the center of the corner, so he said, what the heck, let's just pit. They did 3 rounds of wedge in the left rear, no tires to try to get this car better.
Well, speaking of better, we were looking at the margins coming into this round of pit stops and coming out. Kyle Busch came in with a 4.4-second lead, and before this yellow came out, it was up to 7 seconds. So the yellow is going to tighten everything back up. What we'll do is we'll reset it for you completely, because right now we'll wait to see. I think we're going to have about 16 cars on the lead lap.
Faster than a road run.
Tomorrow, ESPN and ABC team up to bring you 2 games at 3:30 Eastern. You'll either see Nebraska try to keep BCS championship title hopes alive and avenge last year's Big 12 championship loss to Texas, or it'll be Michigan against Iowa. Both games are available nationally on ESPN or ABC. And college football is presented by Buffalo Wild Wings on ABC at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. All right, a lot of guys did benefit from this, and we were correct. There were 16 cars on the lead lap. About 7 of them, or a few more, are going to take the wave around. We should end up now with 23. Carl Edwards will be the last of the wave rounds. There you see him. They haven't made that move yet. Also, how about a shout out for Josh Wise? He's in 11th right now. Remember, he stayed out, and his pit boss, DJ Kopp, who works with our NASCAR Now crew, is on the box tonight, doing a good job. And the other one is Mr. Buescher. He's going to be in 9th. Of course, Kyle Busch is going to be trying for, guess what? Another record. Here it is, trying to become the 3rd driver to win 3 straight Charlotte races. Robbie Moroso did it. Mark Martin did it. And think about this. Kyle has won 4 of the last 5 races here and probably would have won the other one had it not been rain shortened. Let's also give you an update on Danica Patrick. She pitted in that cycle and ended up 26th right now. She is the 3rd car, 1 lap down. Dave?
And just updating the condition of the race car when they came down on pit road, changed 4 tires, made an air pressure adjustment, took air out of the left rear tire. Immediately, Danica said, man, this car has a big push now. And Tony said, I promise you, all we did was take a little air out of the left rear tire. So it subsided somewhat, but right at the beginning of that run, right after she came down for the green flag stop, it wasn't very comfortable to drive.
All right, thanks for the update, David. As you can see, Danica trying to keep heat into the tires. Joey Logano right now is going to restart 3rd. Let's listen in.
Hey there, how was I compared to the leader? You were pretty much breaking even with Kyle. Yeah, most of your laps were a little bit faster than Clint, maybe a 10th or so. And Brad was just slightly faster than you at times, and then other times it was breaking even. Brad being probably the best short run car out here, I think. So that's kind of where it was stacking up.
Sounds like that crew chief's pretty optimistic there, saying he was close to Kyle. I don't know. Well, Kyle Busch pretty much had everybody covered.
Yeah, Kyle was way out there, and what he was doing just kind of analyzing the lap times off the tracker. Kyle had actually moved up before they made those pit stops. He moved right up next to the wall. I think his car kind of got tight, but it was, you know, at that point, I think a lot of people were really close in lap time to Kyle.
All right, let's give you the updates now because Eric McClure got the lucky dog. Here are the waiver rounds. Martin Truex, Stephen Wallace, Trevor Bayne, David Rudiman, Jason Leffler, Eric Almirola, Colin Brown, Ryan Truex, Carl Edwards, Michael McDowell, and it does give us 23 cars on the lead lap. And as we get ready to go back to green up front, it will be Kyle Busch. Again, he's going to take the outside. Clint Boyer right alongside with Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano in row 2, Justin Allgaier, Paul Menard in row number 3. On board there with Brad Keselowski. Pace car getting ready to make the turn down onto pit road. This has been a bit of an extended caution. We've had 5 different leaders, 5 lead changes. I can tell you that Jason Keller has pulled off the racetrack. He's not officially out yet. Fans on their feet again. Green flag in the air. Kyle Busch gets another one of those great restarts. Here we go.
What did you see there, Dale?
I saw Kyle Busch kind of sucker Clint Boyer into thinking he was going to stay right with him, but held back and made a nice little move there.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of games being played on those restarts. You saw that right there. It looked like Clint kind of got caught.
Brad Keselowski holds off Joey Logano. Joey tucks back in. Justin Allgaier right behind him. A little further back, we're getting 4 cars side by side.
And just to make sure, Kyle Busch did nothing wrong there. It's just he's very good, and you have to play a lot of games with him if you're going to try to keep up with him up front.
Number of cars. Danica Patrick, remember she said she didn't like the restart down low. The air's not very good. Well, she's back there again.
Oh, trouble in turn 2.
Got a car, 2 cars into the wall. The 99 of Ryan Truex and the 23 of Robert Richardson.
Yeah, Richardson spun and 99
backed it in, and then one of the Michael Waltrip cars run right into his driver's door.
Yeah, well, he didn't have much of anywhere to go there. He had committed up high. Ryan Truex
Up there
had.
too late. Sorry.
It's our second crash in turn number 2.
Just go straight to the garage there.
See right there, Robert Richardson just get loose down on the inside. Spins. Ryan Truex just has nowhere to go.
Well, he did tag him in the door, though. The car held up well, though.
From Eric Almirola's view.
See, he's just going to squeeze by here before the 23.
Keep coming. Good job, bud. Good job. Did you get the wall a little bit? Nope.
Well, Ryan was running in 21st position on the lead lap. The 23 car was 34th, 2 laps down. And for Ryan, it was his 5th start here in 2010. He's had 2 top 15 finishes, but right now he's got his first taste of the wall in a nationwide car.
Yeah, and a nice break for those cars that took the waiver round just this last time. Now, if they choose so, they can come in, get some fuel, and make some adjustments, and if they choose to change tires. So all of that worked out well for them.
Yeah, the last time Kyle Busch pitted is lap 55. It's lap 72. If I was the guys that just took that waiver round, I'd come down and get some tires and get a reset right here. Looks like a lot of them are coming in. I'm trying to see what car number's there. I think Carl Edwards would be one that would come. I see him. Is that him coming down pit road? Yeah.
Carl Edwards is back in, as you mentioned. Vince?
Yeah, the 60th Carl Edwards, he said it's a little bit loose on the gas 3/4 of the way through the turn, starts to slide the rear. They're going to make a track bar adjustment, also a tire change for Carl Edwards.
Martin Truex, Eric Almirola also made stops. Several other cars coming off. The 16 of Colin Brown, the 17 of Trevor Bayne.
What this does, it gives Carl Edwards now 18-lap cushion on his next pit stop. So he's got fresher tires. He might be able to come up through there just a little bit better. And it's a really good break for Carl.
Another guy who gets the break is Brendan Gaughan. He gets the lucky dog. It'll give us 24 cars on the lead lap. And let's look with our Lee Cunningham as he's working back on that 99.
Wise old racing veteran once told me, a young guy can't learn anything when he's in the garage with his car torn up. In the case of Ryan Truex, not his fault, but he involved and caught up in the 4th caution of this race as we're still shy of halfway and under the yellow flag. The young New Jersey native swept up in a couple of car wreck off turn number 2. From the pit studio with Rusty, Brad, and Ray, Robert Richardson in the 23 goes around, and it's on.
Yeah, Robert gets in the corner there in turn 2. Back end steps out from under him, and he's going up the racetrack, and Ryan has nowhere to go. Spotter's telling him, go high, and he hits Robert right in the driver's door, unfortunately.
But again, both drivers able to drive their cars into the garage area, but with heavy damage. And as you can see, the crew's working on repairs. Want to talk about Carl Edwards and his team working the caution. Rusty and I were talking about why the 60 car chose to pit under this yellow. He was on the same fuel and tires as the race leader Kyle Busch, took the wave around, still on the same fuel and tires, but chose to come in here.
Didn't like his car, wanted to tighten it up a little bit, but now he's got more fuel and fresh tires on. So, you know, they've got 6 sets of tires to work with this weekend, so he should still have plenty of tires to run this race on.
I'll tell you what, guys, this whole thing got confused when actually Gene Buescher had 11 laps of fuel more left in his car, so he stayed out. He was the only guy on the lead lap at that point and put everybody, it really scrambled up the running order. And that's how Ryan Truex got way behind. But very complicated right now because of that. But what I'm seeing right now, these cars are drafting really well. A lot of loose cars off of turn 4. A lot of adjustments going on right now. And a lot of people, Brad, learning things about this car.
Absolutely. This is a great opportunity for all these guys to get an education tonight. And that's what they're doing. And Kyle Busch is the teacher right now, taking it to them. But all of them are picking up pointers.
About 2/3 of a lap from the restart. Dave is in the garage.
And, of course, that's the irony of where Ryan Truex sits right now. He's in the garage area not learning a thing. How frustrating is it?
You know, you'll have these days. And just a little bit of bad luck there. Wrong place, wrong time. You know, when you get a wave around and you're stuck there at the back, there's some slow cars up there. There's not much you can do. And I seen him spinning up there, and I just tried to slow it down. And, you know, I just nowhere to go. And I hate it for these guys. They've been working hard all weekend. And just can't thank Out Pet Care enough for being on board with me and my brother. So you know, hopefully my brother can get up there and get a win. I'll be up there in the pit box now cheering for him. And no bad day for us, but hopefully he can bring it home for us.
All right, well, I want to update Ryan and everybody else on Martin right now. Martin's on the track, but his car has been scraping the front end on the track, even under caution. So they've been on pit road 3 times during this caution period and trying to get that front end up off of the track. Marty?
All right, let's get ready and reset it for you because we're coming green. Kyle Busch, Clint Boyer on the front row. Kyle's going to be on the outside again. Logano, Keselowski, Allgaier, Menard. We're racing again at Charlotte. Whoa, look out.
Martin Truex there having a lot of trouble with his car.
And he is getting...
Oh, I'm sorry, that's Mike Wallace.
And Steven almost ran over his uncle. It's going to cost both of them some positions because they both had to get out of it. Trevor Bayne goes around both of them. Back up front, Clint Boyer's got his hands full with Joey Logano. Here comes Paul Menard underneath as well. He's inside. Brad Keselowski in the 22.
Now, it was an earlier restart that Logano lost a lot of time when he was down on the bottom. He got passed by 5 or 6 cars. He's just now made his way back up, using that high line now against Clint Boyer.
Right behind that group, it's Allgaier and Reed Sorensen.
See, now he's getting a real push from Brad Keselowski. Puts him by Clint Boyer for that second spot.
And then he says, thanks, and I'm leaving you. Whoa, Keselowski got close to the wall there. Left side of your screen, Carl Edwards trying to come up through the field. It's Josh Wise right in front of him now. And that is for the 12th spot.
Well, he just bluffed Jason Leffler right out of the gas getting in that corner. Kind of turned left on him, and Leffler gave him a break.
Leffler and Colin Brown have their own little battle going. Right behind Colin is his teammate, Ricky Stenhouse. Look out, Rudeman getting loose. Also in that mix you saw in the back there was Danica Patrick. She is 1 car away from being the lucky dog position. The car she's trying to track down is Ricky Stenhouse. And there you see Ricky trying to squeeze in maybe. No, he's going to tuck in behind Josh Wise.
Josh Wise doing a nice job in his car tonight. DJ Kopp.
We've got debris on the race course. Another caution. It will be our 5th now. We had 6 in this race last October, 7 in the May race earlier this year.
And these leaders might pit here, and that would put Carl Edwards back up front because he just made a pit stop.
Yeah.
We'll see what they do.
It's also going to be a break for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He will pick up the lucky dog. That'll give us 24 back on the lead lap.
Yeah, Danica's 1 lap down. She was actually catching him right before that yellow flew.
And of course, as you look at Danica, she checks the mirror, and you heard Brad say it earlier. I wonder if Joe Gibbs Racing is going to figure this out. They're running 1-2, guys.
So what do you think, Marty?
I think maybe they have finally got it. There's the debris being picked up on the track.
Kyle Busch made his first NASCAR Nationwide Series start here in 2003. You know where he finished, Marty?
I think it was 2nd, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's where he finished 2nd to Matt Kenseth. He led 33 laps.
He's been 2nd a lot since then, too, but he's won a lot of times. Been pretty incredible.
All right, are going to be any takers? Brad Keselowski's won. Here comes Kevin Harvick. Boy, Harvick has not been up front at all tonight. They're still working on that car. Let's send it to Jamie.
And Brad Keselowski taking advantage of this. He said, I got to say, guys, I am frustrated. I haven't caught a break all night. Scuffed tires is the call. A little bit of an air pressure adjustment, and they'll fill it up. That is the call. Kevin Harvick continues working on his car. Track bar down 3 rounds, 4 tires and fuel. And they're still adjusting, try to get it working right, guys. It is just not the same kind of car they've seen with this new car with the first 3 races. You see them working to town there, just trying to make up any positions they can.
About wore out his right arm with all those turns.
Yeah, we saw Keselowski only take 2 tires. I believe I'd have taken 4 if I'd been him right there.
Stephen Wallace comes through, and some kind of hand gesture out the window. I don't know what that was for. We're going to step aside for just a few minutes. Caution number 5, our race presented by Hellman's. Time for us to check the calendar. Don't forget, NASCAR Now will be on tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. and again at 1 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2. And then tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern on ABC, the Bank of America 500, and our countdown program will begin on ABC at 7 p.m. The Nationwide Series will be at Gateway next Saturday. That's going to be 3 o'clock Eastern, and that will be on ESPN2. Top 13 cars stayed out on the racetrack. Let's update Brad Keselowski's situation as he is 14th, and he was one of those cars that pitted. Jamie?
Well, he's talking to his spotter about sequence and the way that he restarts, and this is what he said on the radio. He needs their help.
Time for an observation from up here?
Yeah, is it about the restarts?
Yeah, 10-4.
Oh, they're terrible.
Well, I see what you're trying to do, and when it works above 80%. When it doesn't work, it works worse than 20%. So, I mean, it's one of them things that, you know, it's feast or famine, so take it for what it's worth.
I don't have an option. I have to do it or my car just falls by that face.
Basically, what he's saying is his car is boggy, and in motocross terms, that means it just doesn't have torque. It's not getting off the line quick enough for him, guys. So I'm assuming that means he wants to speed up early and be able to stay with the lead pack and try to make a pass, right?
Well, he's probably trying to anticipate, lay back a little bit so he can get that thing wound up. And just looking at that restart right there, he lost just a little bit of ground right getting to the throttle. And he's able to make it up quick.
24 cars on the lead lap, and of course led by Kyle Busch and Joey Logano. They're side by side. Clint Boyer right behind Logano.
Logano getting a big push from Boyer.
You saw Keselowski at the back of the pack going wide. We got 3 wide here. Here comes Ryan Newman trying to make it 3 abreast.
Yeah, it looked like Talladega.
Look out. Got a little contact. Allgaier got into Reed Sorensen just a touch. Nobody got hurt. Here comes Boyer side by side with Kyle as we got a new leader with Logano.
That's the first time we've seen that. Somebody from on the inside be able to do, to make a pass. But he had some help from Clint Boyer down the backstretch to do it.
Yeah, I think that was the key, that somebody got a push on the inside, where before the outside guy was just getting such a break that everybody else didn't line up and try to help each other.
Keep an eye on Paul Menard. He's been up there throughout this race. He's got himself a good cup car for tomorrow as well. Here we go. Let's go 3 wide. Hang on. Doesn't last long, though. Ryan realizes he wasn't going to get it done. Still side by side, though, these two.
Yeah, Newman lost a lot right there as he had to get out of the throttle. Now it'll take a little time to get that built back up, but he's getting a nice push from behind.
A little bit further back. Remember when Carl Edwards was in serious jeopardy of possibly going a lap down? There he is in the mix, trying to come up underneath the 98. We go on board with Allgaier.
Carl has fresher tires than these guys, trying to make that work down on the inside.
Boyer side by side with Kyle Busch again.
He's hanging tough down there.
But it's allowing Joey Logano to open up some breathing space.
Kyle finally gets clear.
Reed Sorensen steps out further back. He's trying to get under Martin Truex. They're side by side through the corner. Carl Edwards right in front of him. Truex carries the momentum, takes the spot back. Logano's lead right now about a half a second. He's our 6th different leader. We've had a total of 6 lead changes.
Once Kyle Busch cleared Clint Boyer, he's able to start coming back towards the lead.
When's the last time we were saying Kevin Harvick in a battle for 12th?
Yeah, he just can't find the handle on this car here tonight. Been extremely loose, and much as hard as you have to drive these things here, that makes it very difficult.
It's got Jason Leffler. Here comes David Rudiman on the right side. Rudiman's got a stripe from scraping the wall. Has not seemed to bother the handling at all. Left side of your screen, the battle for 5th. You got Allgaier in the 98. Paul Menard.
Yeah, Menard's got up on the outside. He's able to trap Justin Allgaier down to the inside and take that spot away.
Boy, did you see Truex whip out as he tries to go underneath Carl Edwards? Sorensen's trying to catch up to him. Maybe the 2 of them could get around him if he can get close enough. There goes Truex.
He's even got fresher tires than Carl. He just pitted at lap 82, so.
Keselowski's right behind Edwards. Sorensen's right behind Truex. On board with Brad.
Yeah, you can see Carl Edwards still struggling with his race car.
Keselowski and Sorensen now behind Brad. Since the restart, Martin's been the biggest mover. He's picked up 8 positions. Dave?
And guys, they made some major adjustments on that 00 car. You remember we reported that that car was hitting the racetrack. They've made a wedge adjustment and a track bar, which is typical, but they also got in, as you watch the battle for the lead, to the engine bay of that 00, worked on the front springs. Hey, why don't we watch Kyle pass Joey? That's an awesome pass down into turn number 1, taking the low line. Kyle back to the point. Anyway, Martin Truex Jr., they went and did some rounds in the springs on the front end of that race car, and since then, all Mike Gricci wanted to know, the crew chief, is the car still hitting the track? And Ryan said, it is not. So better things for Martin Truex. Sorry, I said Ryan again. It's confusing.
You get a pass tonight. Hey, Kyle Busch has got a pass. He just, as you mentioned, passed for the lead. Here comes Boyer, and all of a sudden, Logano's got his hands full. It looked like he was going to pull away. He'd open up a half-second lead, and now he's in third.
Yeah, well, he got that advantage as Boyer and Kyle Busch raced side by side for that second spot. Once they got things settled between them, they both were able to run Joey Logano down, pass him.
And right behind this group, take a look on the left side. Well, look who's found each other. James Buescher, Danica Patrick.
Yeah, remember the last time they met at California last week. Wasn't pretty.
Well, Buescher, of course, is on the lead lap right now. Danica is in the lucky dog position in 25th. Buescher's running 19th.
Yeah, you see Buescher's car is still throwing sparks. He hit the wall early in the race, and after that it just kept bottoming. It's bottoming something out on the suspension there that keeps throwing sparks, but the car running well.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with Danica Patrick here. This is a difficult racetrack. First time she's been here. Doesn't have a lot of time in these cars. Obviously, nobody does, but she has even less than most, so she's doing a really nice job.
See on the right side of your screen, Clint Boyer kind of staying right with Kyle Busch. I mean, he's really hasn't lost much ground at all to him.
Left side, you saw the sparks flying out of the number 10 as it hit the asphalt here on the 1.5 mile oval. Boy, look at this battle a little bit further back behind the leaders. Yeah, these three right here. You got Menard with Newman side by side with Allgaier.
Menard just passed Ryan Newman for that spot.
And Paul is now shown in 4th position. And Menard, told you he had a great weekend going. He's going to start 5th in tomorrow night's Cup race. So there's your top 5 after 97. We're almost to halfway here at our NASCAR Nationwide Series race presented by Hellman's.
Just past halfway, here's our 5-hour energy rapid recap. Danica Patrick out there slugging it out tonight, right now running in position to get the free pass if the caution comes out.
Yeah, she's running great. This is 2 weeks in a row now. Last week in California, this week she's showing she can do this thing. I mean, she looks good out there.
Story started tonight. Would Joe Gibbs Racing have a better grip on the next generation Nationwide Series car?
That's a resounding yes.
Yes.
Kyle Busch gets out front. I mean, he's led 63 laps early. Joey Logano's led about 8 laps. So the JGR cars are back in form in the Nationwide Series for sure.
We thought at the start of the night turn 4 would be the trouble spot. Instead, it's been turn 2. A couple of pretty good crashes over there, Ray.
Well, it's just slick. The aerodynamics seem to be making a big difference on these race cars, and as good as they're drafting, they seem to be making the guys loose when they get side by side.
And another one, Robert Richardson goes around. Watch Eric Almirola. Ooh, got by. Ryan Truex didn't. And turn 2 has been the tricky spot tonight instead of turn 4. 5 cautions for 23 laps in the first 100 laps of this one. Kyle Busch has done the most leading. He's been out in front for 64 laps. Clint Boyer has led for 22 laps after starting on the pole. And that's pretty much the story. Now, what we're coming up on next is a series of split pit stops. And what I mean by that, last time Kyle Busch was on pit road was under the green at lap 55. Well, we've had cautions since then, 2 of them. And he has, actually 3 of them, excuse me. Yeah. He hasn't stopped. Other guys have on some of those cautions. So we're about to get into a whole real stressful situation for these crew chiefs with different guys on different pit stop schedules.
I'd say about 8 more laps for Kyle Busch, it looks like to me. I mean, he'll be coming down in about that period right there. Last pitted on lap 55. These guys been calculating 55 to 60 laps they can run on fuel. Throw a couple of caution laps in there, something like that.
That's Eric Almirola, 88. Brendan Gaughan, 62. This is race for 15th place, one of the closest on the track at the moment, as the field is spread a little bit in this run of the race. Watching guys try and figure out the line in this new car and the aerodynamics in traffic. Rusty, guys you've talked to, getting behind the wheel in racing conditions in this car on this track for the first time. it's already a tough place.
It is a tough place, and I have not heard a lot of cars pushing the front end like I might have heard with the old car. A lot of these guys here are just complaining about loose race cars. That's the biggest thing they're concerned about. So, again, Brad, like I said earlier, this is a huge learning day for all these teams to figure out what they need.
Sure it is. If you look inside the top 13, I mean, you're looking at all veteran guys except for Justin Allgaier. All those guys are veterans of this series, got a lot of laps under the belt, a lot of experience, and that's playing out right now, Ray.
Right, and as I've said over and over again, this place changes. It changes at night. The longer you run on, the longer this race goes on, the cars change, and you've got to be able to keep up with that.
Yeah.
Third place, Joey Logano, 20, and Paul Menard, 98 car. Menard got some trash on the grill, it looks like there. Unless they used white tape on the grill of that car, which that would be a little unusual.
He's running some fast lap times, though, guys.
Yeah, I was going to say,
he's fastest car on the racetrack. He is flying.
Well, then he's almost like in a qualifying mode. They tape off the nose to get running faster. Now, he doesn't want that on there, but it will make the car run go a little quicker until it overheats.
Keep an eye on that water temp gauge.
That's right.
Wonder if he'll be pounding it with his hand on the steering, getting that tachometer out of the way like Carl Edwards was earlier.
You know, guys, one thing I'm going to remind you of, when they decided to bring this new car out, they picked 4 racetracks, 4 different style racetracks. A short track at Richmond, Daytona 500 style track, the big track, then Michigan, a 2-mile track. This is a track nothing like they've run on before, so this is a new notebook for everybody.
Yeah. Kyle Busch, after that last restart, when we saw the bump drafting, literally Clint Boyer pushing Joey Logano by him into the lead, Kyle Busch came on the radio and said, remember that for the end of the race. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
He might not have said it quite as calmly. Yeah. But he said whoever gets the jump on the last restart is going to win this race.
Well, we've seen a lot of aero dependency tonight on these race cars, and whoever thought we would see drafting at Charlotte Motor Speedway or Lowe's Motor Speedway. There's a big draft going on this race.
And Menard,
nice little battle for second there with Paul Menard and Joey Logano.
Continuing to work over Logano there. I'm continuing to watch a couple of shots as he's gotten closer to Logano's back bumper. That piece of paper or whatever it is pressed on that grill kind of flapping like maybe the air's going to help pull it off there, but it's still stuck in place, and he hasn't been able to shake that loose yet. Could see the leaders on pit road in the next 5 laps. Watch this.
Here we
the
go.
lead. Going to split some traffic.
3 wide. 2 wide. 3 wide.
That's David Starr in the 05. Which way's he go? Who gets the advantage?
He runs the old blockaroo. Clint Boyer, 21 to the front. New leader.
The old blockaroo. Is that one of your Carolina basketball plays?
The old blockaroo.
Coach Smith called that one for you, the old blockaroo.
New leader.
All right, going to see some pit stops here for the front runners. Here comes Menard, giving up 4th place at lap 113. Doc?
And they have a problem. He just said the water temperature is over 300 degrees. It is overheating. They can't wait any longer to come in to clean the grill and go ahead and get their 4 tires and fill it up with fuel. But you can see steam pouring out of the hood of the car. Obviously, the last 2 laps, the temperature has continued to rise. They'll do the pit stop first and then take a look at the grill as far as tape and debris. Left side tires going on, talking to him, making sure they get the tape off. And add some water in the car to keep it from blowing an engine. Tough break for what was a good run for Paul Menard.
Yeah.
Keep it going. Keep it pumping. Keep it pumping.
Clock is ticking, and he is quickly falling out of contention. Tough break for the 98. Again, he pitted from 4th place with that trash on the grill. So now we keep an eye on Clint Boyer and Kyle Busch to see when they're going to hit pit road. Remember, last time they were in was under the green flag at lap 55.
Ray, what are you thinking about lap 117, 118, something like that? I mean, that's what it looks like we're calculating down here.
Yeah, certainly it depends on the cautions, but it does seem to be that Kyle's car is dropping off, and I don't know whether that's a tire problem. He wants to make adjustment. I think you might see him jump in sooner than later because tires seem to be making a little bit of a difference here.
All right, so those are our thoughts on what we're seeing here. Marty, DJ, Andy, what are you seeing when you're watching for pit stops?
Well, a tough break for Paul Menard. You know, he had top 10 finishes in 5 of his last 6 races, and we get ready for these stops. I mean, Clint Boyer right now, the longer this run goes, the better his car seems to run.
Yeah, I'll answer Alan. I think, Alan, I did the calculation, too. It's lap 117 is what I had. That'll be the next lap. They may be able to go just a little farther than that, but not much. Clint's car does come alive after they've run quite a few laps here.
Well, we've only got 20 cars now on the lead lap because Hermie Sadler, Eric McClure, Mike Wallace, they've all been put a lap down by the race leaders. And you can see that Ricky Stenhouse, who's running in 20th, is about to be the next victim. He got the last lucky dog, and now he's in the lucky dog position again. And that may not last long. Let's go and check in on Brad Keselowski and Ryan Newman. That is the battle for 6th. Newman's got it. Brad wants it.
Remember, Brad pitted that last caution, got right side tires only.
They're side by side. Newman on the high line.
Yeah, he's got a lot more fuel to go, so he'll be out there for a while.
Let's send it down to Doc in pit road.
Justin Allgaier in for a scheduled stop. They just splashed Sunoco gasoline everywhere on the left rear of the car. Justin said the car was bouncing. He thought they might have a shock absorber problem in the front. They think now maybe some one-lap scuffs they put on. Fresh Goodyears, and he is away.
And just to let you know that you saw on the right side, Paul Menard's car still sitting on pit road. He's now 5 laps down.
Well, there's been 15 caution laps since these leaders last pitted, so that's going to add quite a bit of distance to their run. But you see Clint Boyer making his stop right now while Kyle Busch goes by.
So he'll surrender the lead back to Kyle. It'll be our 9th lead change. And Clint Boyer.
4 tires filling full of gas.
You heard the call. Let's send it down to Doc again.
Well, they're also going to put a round in the left rear for Clint Boyer. He was talking about the car was getting better and better. And Andy, you were right on. He said as the fuel burned off, the car got better and better with the track bar adjustment they had made before. So they're going to make another one here on this stop. Boyer is in. Logano is in right behind him on pit road for both the scheduled stops. Major chassis adjustment. Logano said his car was so loose they could not drive it on the bottom of the racetrack. Dave.
Doc, Reed Sorensen was running in the 10th position. They put wedge on both sides of the car to try to raise up the back of the car. Said, I need rear grip if I'm going to go any faster.
Everybody going back out on track except Paul Menard, still sitting there as they're trying to get that car back out. Here comes Jason Leffler. Dave, we'll send it your way.
Marty, Jason Leffler have been running in the 12th position as we see Kyle Busch hitting pit road as well. For Leffler, a 4-tire change and slight air pressure adjustment. The car has been tightening over that run. Vince.
Kyle Busch and Jason Ratcliffe debating whether they should put a little wedge in the left rear or air pressure out of the right rear. They decided to go with a half-pound out of the right rear. He says it's just a little too loose. The back end is a little too lively for him. They want to snug it up just a hair.
14.4, another good stop. So Kyle goes back out onto the track. We can tell you that Paul Menard is also back out on the track. He is 8 laps down. Race leader right now is shown as that man right there, Martin Truex, 2.2 seconds over Ryan Newman, with Brad Keselowski, Carl Edwards, and Kevin Harvick rounding out your top 5. And there's Ruderman right behind Logano. Those guys are duking it out. Mike Wallace is also in that mix. We should tell you Logano is 1 lap down in 19th spot because of the cycling through of the pit stops. Mike Wallace in 20th, 1 lap down.
It looks like Ryan Newman is well, he's in now. I was going to say he's the last one of those leaders. Jamie?
Yes, he is, and his cup over the wall guys are pitting his car for him. He's saying his car is getting better, a little bit tighter on the longer run. Air pressure adjustment was already made, 4 tires, and they'll fill it up. Again, this is the last race for this James Finch team, including Ryan Newman, of course, because they don't have sponsorship from here on out. They may put together something for next year. As you see him work around on the left side here, they've been good on pit road tonight. Ryan himself been hovering in the top 10. The tear off the windshield, he's down and away, 14.8.
And on the right side of your screen, Martin Truex now leads Brad Keselowski by 3.4 seconds. And again, we're out of sequence on a number of these cars because of the quick set of cautions we had earlier.
And Ryan was the last one of the leaders that had to make a stop there. The rest of this group where it recycled now is Martin Truex. He's probably got about 20 so laps that he can run before he has to make a pit stop.
Well, to give you an idea, Truex last pitted on lap 82, as did Brad Keselowski. Carl Edwards on lap 73. And then you go Harvick, Ruderman, and Gahn. They also pitted on lap 82, and that is your top 6. So things have calmed down as there goes Clint Boyer whipping around Mike Bliss and Jason Keller. And his chase to get back towards the front continues at our race here presented by Hellman's. Welcome back to the Dollar General 300. Make sure to go to NASCAR.com for all your latest NASCAR information. Couple of quick updates. Paul Menard is behind the wall now. Looks like they may have lost the motor. We'll keep you updated if we get him back out on track. Right now, Martin Truex Jr. is running very well and 4.1 seconds over Brad Keselowski. This is a battle for 10th, and these guys are 1 lap down. That's right, only 9 cars on the lead lap. Kyle Busch is leading Clint Boyer. We have a number of cars out of sequence right now. And if a caution came out, well, Kyle would get the lucky dog. Everybody else would be sort of stuck.
Well, they probably have a lot of guys taking the wave around.
Yeah, that'd be the only thing that they could do at this stage. And it looks like Carl Edwards' team, they were talking about, we heard during the break, that they might try and push it a little bit farther, a couple more laps. They think they could make it with 1 more stop.
Yeah, it's like the way they were talking, they could make it to like 64 laps to go. Felt like they might be able to make it from there. So if the race goes green, they'll be sitting pretty.
Martin Truex Jr. Let's get an update from Dave Burns.
Imagine that. Martin leading now after the car was hitting the track so bad earlier. He's radioed to his crew that now it's pretty neutral. It's just slippery. Crew Chief Mike Ricci wants to go back on some air pressure adjustments they had made. They're planning on pitting around lap 140 or so. It's hard to give up the lead, Marty, when you're out there.
Well, his last Nationwide Series win was Talladega back in April of '06. His last start here was May of that same year. He's had 3 top 10s here in 6 starts. We can tell you Brendan Gaughan has completed his service, is heading back out onto the track. A lot of cars out of sequence on the pit stops. Eric Almirola's in, Vince.
Yeah, they've been fighting loose, and he says it's just still too loose to go fast. You got to tighten me up some. He said, I can go faster, Pop, but I got to be a little tighter. 4 tires and an air pressure adjustment for Almirola in the 88.
Well, he was on the lead lap. He now is shown a lap down, and we'll wait to see where he cycles back through. That means 7 cars right now on the lead lap. It is Truex, Keselowski, Edwards, Harvick, Rudiment, Bain, and Colin Brown.
And we're right around the lap that Carl Edwards' team was talking about they needed to get to before they made this pit stop. See if they try to stretch it anymore, but then they were going to try to make it from this point forward.
Well, he needs to be careful because they ran out of fuel that first run and kind of stumbled, didn't get it started. That's how he got a lap down early, or got just about a lap down early.
There is Carl Edwards in the 3rd spot right now. He's shown a total of 7 seconds behind the race leader. Now remember, Truex and Keselowski pitted on lap 82. Carl pitted on lap 73. And we are working lap 138.
Easy getting on pit road here. 4,000 seconds. 4,000 second gear.
Here comes Carl.
Oh, we about got tagged by Harvick.
Man, and he's trying to get it woed down.
Yeah, definitely be 4 tires now.
Let's send it to Vince.
Yeah, Carl's just still not happy with the way that the car is handling. Says it's still a little bit too free and feels like it's kind of squirmy in the back end. 4 tires are going to make an air pressure adjustment, a track bar adjustment as well for the 60 of Carl Edwards. Dave Burns.
Of Trevor Bain, before the round of pit stop started, had been running in the 14th position. He's on pit road now for a wedge adjustment for a car that was very loose. He was instructed by his crew chief and spotter to hang on to it. He did, and they make their pit stop.
Carl goes back out while here comes Trevor Bain. Vince.
There's the 16 of Colin Brown. He's too tight, needs the rear of the car to be freer. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment, give him 4 fresh tires. Been a pretty solid run for Colin Brown, but he's just been too loose in the first stint, too tight in the second. Seems like that stop took way too long. You see it, almost 22 seconds.
Martin Truex is now in, our race leader, as he comes down. Dave?
And remember, Marty, we told you at the top of the show, the car is brand new, and this crew had never run this new Nationwide car, although their teammates in the 99 had. So, slippery, air pressure adjustment, out of the lead right now, but again, before this round of pit stop started, he had cycled back to the 5th position, turned into a good night for Martin Truex.
Well, with that, we now have a total of 6 cars on the lead lap. The record for the fewest cars to finish on the lead lap here, 1986. Guess who the winner was?
Harry Gant?
Tim Richmond.
Oh, man.
Who will be profiled Tuesday night, 8 o'clock and 30 for 30 on ESPN. Had a sneak peek at it. It is good. The 11's in. Let's send it to Dave.
And David Ruderman is in for a pit stop for a race car that is actually pretty good. He radioed in a few laps ago neutral, so they're going to make no changes on this run. They talked about a little bit of track bar because that's what helped the car so much last time when it was very loose. Ruderman's done. He leaves.
15.2 on the clock. You saw it there. He pulls back out. 43 of Josh Wise is behind him, also coming through pit road. And the race lead now is Brad Keselowski. There he is in the number 22 by 2.5 seconds over Kevin Harvick. Kyle Busch is 28 seconds back in third. Clint Bowyer is the only other car on the lead lap at this moment, 30 seconds behind in fourth. And you're asking about pit stops? Well, the first two, Keselowski and Harvick last pitted on lap 82. Busch in 122, and Bowyer and Logano pitted at 120. Working lap 144. Harvick trying to catch up. He's got to go around the 05 right there of David Starr. He is multiple laps down in 29th, 4 laps down to be exact. Here comes Keselowski and the 09 right alongside Brian Scott. Let's send it to Jamie Little.
And Brad Keselowski peels off. He says that the car has actually been getting better, just a little bit tight. Center off, you see him making his way down there. Brand new race car they brought here tonight, and they have been ahead of the game with this new car. But tonight, car just hasn't been great. He qualified third as the team goes to work on the right-hand side. The minor adjustments, you did see the wrench go in the back window there. I believe that was a wedge adjustment that time around. They'll fill it up. They'll put those Goodyear tires on there. He's down and away. Last time it was scuffs, this time 4 tires. And you see on the right-hand side, Kevin Harvick, through all the practice sessions, they didn't have to make any adjustments. He said the car was neutral no matter what they did, short, long run, whatever. Tonight has been completely opposite. They have put 3 rounds of wedge in this car, 3 rounds of track bar. Right now it is going to be, you see the wrench in the back window there on the right-hand side. That is a track bar adjustment, 1 full round there. They'll fill it up with fuel. The car has gotten a little bit better, but certainly not up to the 33 standards. Marty?
And it means that Kyle Busch is going to take over the race lead. It'll be our 12th lead change, our total of 9 different leaders. We can tell you Brian Scott's going to have to come back in. He had missing lug nuts, so a bad break for him in his quest for Rookie of the Year honors. He's battling that out with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. We're almost 3/4 of the way through. There's your top 5. Tomorrow night, Terrell Pryor and the number 1 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes face a tough road test in Madison. They meet the Wisconsin Badgers. College football primetime presented by Hampton Hotels on ESPN tomorrow at 7 Eastern. It's also available online and on your phone. Right now, we've got 17 cars now on the lead lap as we've had the off-cycle pit stops continue. Let's go up to speed. Vince Welch.
Well, it should be no surprise that Kyle Busch is out front. We're at a 1.5 mile track. The last 5.5 miles, he has 3 wins, a second and a third. As far as the new car is concerned, well, they've made 2 pit stops, and the only adjustment they've made is a 1/2 pound of air pressure out of the right rear. So far, so good for the 18 and Kyle Busch. Doc?
Guys, Clint Bowyer has a good race car, but what he really has in his corner more than anything else is a great pit crew. They've got Jeff Burton's Cup crew pitting the car tonight with 2 brand new tire changers that debuted last week in the Cup race in California. They're going to make 1 minor adjustment on its final stop. If it's a green flag stop, look for Bowyer to be a major factor coming off pit road. Dave.
Doc, that was a good green flag round for Martin Truex. Remember, he was 5th when people started pitting. Now he's 3rd, so that worked out very well. Started the run, squishy. Okay, but he says now it's coming to him. A neutral race car, air pressure's coming up. Doc?
Joey Logano in the 20 car says we have got to get this track bar back down. He said the car is just too loose. He can adjust the handling of the the car by running on the bottom or top of the racetrack. But when he has to work traffic to make a pass, he doesn't have a lot to work with. One final stop, they'll make a track bar and air pressure adjustment. Justin Allgaier, remember we told you the car was bouncing in the front end before? Well, that turned out not to be a shock absorber problem, but simply a tire issue. They made an air pressure adjustment. They are going to make one more stop. He said the car is very aero-tight. Guys, caution on the racetrack.
Okay, we've got a caution on the racetrack. It is our 6th, and the word we're getting from NASCAR. Remember I told you that Brian Scott was called back in for a missing lug nut? Well, it turns out they were wrong. So what they are going to do is slow everybody down and give Scott his position back.
Yeah, it's not unprecedented. That happened a long time ago. I was Earnhardt's crew chief at Rockingham, and we made a green flag stop. Said we had a loose lug or a missing lug nut, and we didn't. So they did the same thing, but haven't seen that in quite a few years.
45 laps to go. Everybody up on the wall that is going to need to come, and right now, remember Carl Edwards talking about they could go the distance? Do they stay out? Track position?
They'll come in now.
Yeah, got to get tires and try to make your car better because everybody can make it from here.
15 cars on the lead lap right now. Stephen Wallace will get the lucky dog. That'll give us 16 back. Kyle Busch, we can tell you, has now led the most laps tonight. That makes 5 of the last 6 races. In fact, he's led more laps tonight than the other 3 new car races combined. So pits are not open this time. Going to let everybody go around. They're going to get the 09 back into position before they open pit road. While all this is going on, why don't we get the ticket to the race so you can join us down the road here. Of course, next stop for the NASCAR Nationwide Tour, the Gateway International Raceway, next week, 3 Eastern, and then Texas Motor Speedway, Phoenix, and Homestead. All you have to do is log on to NASCAR.com/tickets or call 866-GO-NASCAR. Come and join us. We've been having a lot of fun this year with this Nationwide Series, despite the fact we've been talking all the time about Kyle winning these races. Behind him, there has been some great racing every single time. And you saw the 09 swinging out around, and he'll be able to get back into position. At the time when this yellow came out, he was shown in 28th position, 4 laps down. So they're going to have to figure out exactly how many of those he gets back, because I got to be honest, I didn't keep track when he did the pass through. I'm sure he lost another one there.
Yeah, it has to be pretty much the 1 lap so that'll get him back. And it just shows you that, you know, regardless of where you're running and what it is, if there's a mistake made that has to be corrected, you can't just give it back on the scoring monitor. It has to be physically done to make everything right.
Well, one of the cars. Okay, you heard, pit this time. One of the cars we're going to keep an eye on. Remember Kevin Harvick with all the problems he's had with his pit crew, and they made the change this week. Right now, he's shown in 9th position. Let's see where he comes out. Vince, it's all yours.
Kyle Busch and Jason Ratcliffe decided last time they were not going to put in the wedge. This time they've decided they're going to. 3/4 round a wedge in the left rear. Half pound of air pressure back in the right rear tire. Dave Burns.
3rd place Martin Truex's crew helped him out last time. They're going to put 4 tires on it, hit it with gas lightly. They don't need that much to the end. Doc?
Bottom of your screen, Joey Logano, half a round of track bar, air pressure adjustment. Got to tighten this car up. Still way too loose on the racetrack. Right side of your screen, Clint Boyer at the end of pit road. Now there's a 21 car. They're also going to make a track bar adjustment. Air pressure set 5, and he's trying to get off of pit road. Looks like he lost the race off the pit road, guys.
As we check the Nationwide Insurance race off pit road, Kyle and Clint hold station. Joey Logano picks up 1. Martin loses 1. Justin Allgaier loses 3.
Yeah, we're talking about Kevin Harvick, how many spots he would gain or lose. He didn't even make a pit stop. He stayed out.
Just when you had it all planned out. Kevin Harvick stays out. Stay with us. 43 to go. Back here under our 6th caution at Charlotte, and bad news for Clint Boyer fans. He got busted for speeding, too fast entering, and he was the one car that could really keep up with Kyle. 2 cars did stay out. Keselowski is the race leader. Kevin Harvick will be 2nd, but then from there on back, everybody else pitted. Kyle will be 3rd, Joey Logano 4th, Truex 5th, and Carl Edwards will be 6th. Now, Martin Truex had an issue on pit road. Take a look at this.
See the crew making a routine stop. See the gas man getting the 2nd can. This should fill the car up completely full now. It does, but see the valve hangs open on the can and loses a lot of fuel on pit road. Could have been a little scary right there.
Let's quickly listen in on the 21 radio.
That about figures. Well, it was boring earlier, man. It's time to go to work now. We ain't laying down now. We got a good enough car to win this race. We can come from the back here. Gonna have about 40 laps to go.
That's right. Get up in there and go, boy.
Get up on that high side and roll by all these guys.
Can see how far back Clint Boyer's going to start here at the Dollar General 300. As we get ready to go, it's Brad Keselowski. He's on the outside. Kevin Harvick underneath. We're green. Now the top 2 last pitted around lap 144. And here comes Busch down low, 3 wide.
He was trying to push Harvick ahead of the 22. Harvick got a little bit loose right in the center of 1 and 2.
Joey's going to try and split the difference as well. He's underneath Harvick. Staying out just hasn't worked for those guys.
Martin Truex coming on the inside. Takes that 2nd spot, trying to go to the lead.
Truex wants it. And it looks like he may get it. Side by side through the corner. Whoa, look how Logano slides up. Keselowski down the backstretch. Here comes the run on the inside by Martin. Kyle's watching all of this. Here comes the 22 again. There's Harvick still running back in about 4th. Leader that time by Brad Keselowski, Truex, Busch, Harvick, Newman. That's your top 5.
See, just got that little bit of a push right there at the end of the straightaway from Kyle Busch. Martin Truex did. Able to push him back ahead. But here comes Brad Keselowski back on the high side.
I'm impressed with Keselowski. He can roll the outside right there. He's got a ton of speed through the middle. Like right here. His car seems to really come on right there. Able to stay right on the outside of Truex.
Harvick keeping contact with those guys. And remember, he did not
3
pit.
wide, back in the pack.
He and Brad stayed out. So far, it's not as bad as we thought it might be. A little bit further back, leads on the right. Look at the left side. Carl had it 3 wide. Here we go again with Rudeman. Allgaier's going to feel squeezed there, and he finally gives up the spot.
Yeah, just behind the leaders here on the right, Harvick's on the inside of Kyle Busch.
Oh boy, Truex squeezes right in front of it, and he gets a tag from Keselowski.
Yeah, a little nudge from Brad. He's going for point again. We've had 16 lead changes between 9 different drivers.
Now the roles are reversed. You got Truex on the outside.
There's Kyle in the screen. A little bit of rubbing going on down the backstretch into the corner. Here goes Brad.
Yeah, these guys, a lot of side drafting going on here. Playing some games with each other. Great racing, though.
Well, Keselowski doesn't have as fresh a tires as Truex does. He's about 13 laps more on his tires.
You'd never know it the way these two are going after each other. I'm really surprised, quite honestly, aren't you?
Yeah, I am, really. And you see Harvick, he's keeping pace really nice, too. He stayed out.
Keselowski finally clears, and they're finally in single file for the first time in about, what, 6-7 laps?
Yeah, and I think that tire situation may play out to where the tires 15 laps to go. We'll see how it works then.
Let's give you an update while all this was going on. Clint Boyer, there you see him. He restarted in 15th, and he is now up to 10th. And he is moving, getting around Justin Allgaier. That'll give him the 9th spot.
Yeah, he's got a fast car, but he's going to need another caution flag to get himself with the double file restart. Then he could be in position, maybe challenge again.
He's still a tenth faster than the leader last lap in traffic.
2.8 seconds behind the race lead. You can see up on the high side, that's David Rudeman in front of him, and Reed Sorensen in the 32. Sorensen and Rudeman now side by side. And Clint wants to split the difference. Meanwhile, that's the train up front. Keselowski up front of Truex, Busch, and Harvick. 33 laps to go here. Who's going to win this one? Stay with us to find out. $27 laps to go here in the Nationwide Series race at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and we are all amazed up here at the performance of the 22. Brad Keselowski, remember, he and Kevin Harvick, who's running fourth, did not pit under that last caution. And look at this. He's opened up a 0.7 of a second lead over Martin Truex.
I know they haven't been able to outrun Kyle Busch on equal tires all night long. They stay out here with extra laps on their tires, get that track position. I'm telling you, that 22 car is strolling.
Kyle Busch is third. He is 2.2 seconds behind the race lead as he's looking underneath Kenny Wallace. Kenny in that 28 car, multiple laps down. He's 29th, 5 behind the race lead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wrecking. If I try anything other, look at this. If I try anything other than the line, man, it's just wrecked.
You know, that's exactly the issue that Jason Ratcliffe told me that they've been having with this car, trying to find the sensitive areas with the car in regards to the aerodynamics. They debated whether to make that wedge adjustment. Kyle came back and said, you know what, we should have probably done track bar 2. Well, hindsight, 2020, they don't have the car that he needs right now.
Yeah, the bad news is they're not going to make another pit stop. So
Well,
it's going to hurt him.
Don't be so sure about that, because the last green flag stretch has been 12 laps or less in 12 of the last 13 races here. So the odds are...
I'll tell you, though, Marty, the way I'm watching these lap times and what I'm seeing out of Keselowski here, I'm not sure they would make a pit stop if the caution does come out.
Well, we'll find out pretty soon. I mean, if the caution does come out, we've got, 24 to go. There's Joey Logano's cycle right now. He's been one of our 9 different leaders. Kevin Harvick running in the 5th position now. He's 3.8 seconds behind the race lead. Behind him is Carl Edwards, and remember, Carl at one point was almost a lap down in this race. He's running 6th, 4.7 seconds behind the race lead. And then Clint Boyer, remember, he had the penalty, restarted 15th. He has picked up 9 spots. Behind Clint is Reed Sorensen, Justin Allgaier, David Rudeman. That rounds out the top 10. How about Justin Allgaier right there? So you see those 3. Got Sorensen, Rudeman in the mix as well. One of the closest battles we've got on the racetrack at this point, because the race lead has opened up to 1.2 seconds. Whoa, Sorensen got a little close. Rudeman, you see the damage on the right side. He scraped the wall early in the race. Has not affected the performance of the car. He's been in the top 10 most of the night. Definitely in the top 15. As he goes to the high side right now on Sorensen. Speaking of Clint Boyer, here he is side by side with the 60 of Carl Edwards, and this is for 6th, and he's got it, making it look easy.
Well, he's impressive from that restart, starting 15th, now driving his way all the way up to the 6th spot.
He was 0.7 of a second lap quicker than the race leader the last lap. So Brad Keselowski probably doesn't want to see a caution right now. He is out in front by 1.4 seconds with 20 laps to go. Does he get a second win in the new car? We are under our 7th caution because of a crash involving the 09, a single car crash. We'll show you that in a moment, but let's go to pit road, Vince.
The 60 of Carl Edwards, he said it's just free all the way around. Something rattling real bad under the car, he said as well. They're going to make a track bar adjustment going down with 4 scuffed tires. Jamie.
And Kevin Harvick was 6th. He decided to bring it on down. They had 1 set of sticker tires left. They thought, what the heck, let's just do it. 4 tires, fill it up with fuel. Ryan Newman in the 1 car came in as well with his crew. Another good stop, 4 tires for him, and that will do it for the round of pit stops down here tonight, Marty.
All right, Jamie, as everybody comes off. Now, remember, we only had 17 cars on the lead lap. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. will get the lucky dog, giving us 18. And, boy, he cut a lot of grass for Bruton on the infield. Take a look at what happened to Brian Scott. He was running 27th, 3 laps down when this happened.
A little loose off the corner. See, the right rear just gets into the wall. Tears the deck lid off of it. Spins down to the inside through all of tearing up the sod down there.
And notice the tethers. They did the job.
Oh, doing a great job. They're holding that deck lid on there. That's the purpose of them, so that deck lid doesn't fly off there and become a hazard for everybody.
Well, they don't have to worry about cutting the grass for about a week. Stay with us. We'll head for the finish. Back here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, we are getting ready to go back to green flag racing. We will have 14 laps to go when we get back to the start-finish line. And Brad Keselowski will be on point. He's going to be on the outside with Martin Truex underneath. And take a look at the winners in the new car races this year. Dale Jr., Brad K at Michigan, and Kevin Harvick at Richmond. So to Brad bat 500 in the 4 races in the new car. He's going to have his hands full. Remember, he was talking about his restarts. He's got Truex right alongside. Busch, Logano, Boyer, Allgaier, Reutemann, Almirola, Stephen Wallace, Brendan Gaughan. That's your top 10. Here we go.
Oh, good start by Martin Truex right there.
Boy, and a big push from Logano.
Yeah.
He's still pushing him. Finally lets go of him into the corner.
Martin's going to get some help from Kyle Busch right here, though.
Down the backstretch, they're going to go side by side. Here comes Truex making a run.
Yeah, it's just going to be a matter of who can get clear first here.
Coming out of 4, this time by 13 laps. Remember, Keselowski on the little bit older tires. Truex now making a dive for turn 1.
Just not able to quite clear him.
Clint Boyer, will let you know, is right now running in the 6th position.
Oh, contact right there.
Oh, we got a crash. Stephen Wallace into the wall. And with 13 laps to go, we're going to have
we got the fence there.
It's going to be interesting to see who the leader is after this. We're really close together there.
We'll wait for NASCAR to give us the official word on the timing line. And the damage.
We were just racing hard. I cleared him. I thought we were cleared. 17 and him got together.
A lot of damage on the 66. Stevens made it to pit road, and right now we're waiting still for official word. We think it's going to be Brad Keselowski. Look at some of this damage here.
Oh man, they have to run through a debris field back there, and that's something they got to really be careful of. They're not planning on making a pit stop, so they want to avoid every bit of that.
All right, let's go back and take another look.
Yeah, it looks like Stephen clipped the front. It looks like, is that one of the Roush cars? I believe. Yeah, it is. Trevor Bayne.
Trevor Bayne, yes.
Trying to come back on you?
Yeah, barely.
Easy.
Yeah, that's probably a situation that earlier on in the race that Trevor Bayne may have given a little bit more room there.
I was looking to see if anybody else had any damage from the debris that was flying off. Doesn't look like anybody picked up it. There's a little contact between the 18 and the 12. Don't know that either one suffered anything serious. They're both out there. I mean, keep an eye on the 18-12.
Yeah, they were the first ones that I saw make a little contact right there.
Yeah.
pretty significant, too.
Yeah, it looked like Kyle was going to get over and kind of get on the quarter panel of Justin Allgaier to try to slow him down just a little bit. But this all happened behind that.
Showing Kyle Busch in 5th spot, too.
Let's get an update on the 18. What are you hearing, Vince?
Yeah, the 18 of Kyle Busch, they were definitely disappointed that they got positioned back behind the 12 of Allgaier, and they're also concerned about maybe the damage on that right front from the contact with the 12 car. But Kyle says the car is just not handling right. It's plowing up the track as he goes through the corner and then loose on the throttle, and they're concerned about whether or not it may be hitting the splitter as he loads as well. So not exactly the kind of car right now that Kyle Busch feels like he's going to be able to take to the front.
Well, one thing that's going to happen on this restart, though, with that 12 car in 4th spot, he should line up right behind his teammate, Keselowski. That might really help them to work together here.
Let's get the radio contact and the transmission from Martin Truex.
Just can't quite clear him, huh, man? Good job on the restart, though. Just runs down in the corner on my quarter panel, and I don't know how the hell he does it, Mike. I don't have a clue. Clear might be gone. I only need a foot. Yeah, we see that. Obviously, we slide up in front of him there. He's probably going to turn us, so we'll probably get us to the quarter, but we need to get it cleared.
So the communication. And we should tell you that Josh Wise will get the free pass. And for Stephen Wallace, if it looks like his night is over, it would be his 7th DNF this year due to a crash. 6-car Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is in. Now, he is a lead lap car, so they want to try and get him back out. We've got 17, now 18 cars on the lead lap when Josh Wise gets the free pass. And he will get back out in plenty of time to rejoin the field. And there you see some more of the debris being picked up. Let's get an update on Martin Truex, David.
And Marty, real quick, that Stenhouse car has been loose all night, so that's why Ricky was back on pit road making more changes to that 6 car. The 00, tight on that run. So when you were comparing, newer tires on the 00 to older tires on the 22, the cars weren't evenly matched, and Martin was just complaining the car was too tight, doggone it, right before that radio transmission that you heard. So we'll see how he can do on the end if he can get that extra foot he was looking for, Jamie.
Well, Brad Keselowski's car is good right now. He hasn't talked much to his guys. They just warned him that the first guys with new tires are quite a bit behind him. So they said just keep looking out front. He's looking for his first win on a 1.5 mile track. Marty?
Yeah, Brendan Gaughan's going to restart in the 8th position. He was the last one in at lap 183, as was Ryan Newman, Carl Edwards. In fact, speaking to Carl, let's talk to him.
Hey, Carl, Dale Jarrett, you have a copy?
Got you, Dale.
Well, it sounds like you've been fighting a loose race car. Saw you get some more tires and make some more adjustments. Any better for you?
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty good. It's just, it's a battle out here, so this restart's going to be really wild. We just got to get lined up right, find a hole, and get moving. But Mike Beam tightened up the car. It's gonna be pretty wild here.
Yeah, it is going to be pretty wild. You're coming to get the green flag. Good luck, man.
All right, thanks. Just be glad you're up there in the booth.
Visors down. Well, remember we talked about the last green flag stretch in this race? 12 laps or less. Well, now it's up to 13 of the last 14 races, because when we go back to green, we'll have 8 to go here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Let's reset it for you. It'll be Brad Keselowski. He's going to take the outside again with Martin Truex alongside. In row 2, Joey Logano, Justin Allgaier. Row 3, Kyle Busch, Eric Almirola. Row 4, Clint Boyer, Brendan Gaughan. And row 5, David Rudin and Ryan Newman. While we've got a quick moment, why don't we relive a moment in Brad Keselowski's career here at Charlotte back in 2008.
Him and Denny Hamlin having a little argument over space.
Back when he was driving that 88 car.
That was Dale Jr. in the 83.
Yeah. And then,
see right here, it kind of breaks out.
We almost had a hockey game right on pit road. All right, let's get ready to go. As we said, it'll be 8 laps to go. Green flag flies. And this time it's Allgaier pushing his teammate. Logano's trying to give Truex a hand. They're going to go side by side the first 2 rows.
Yeah, dodge against the Toyotas here. See, Kyle Busch slides up. He's got up into that high side now. He got trapped on the bottom the last time. See if he can make this work any better as he tries to push Allgaier.
Clint Boyer in the mix as well there in the 21. Truex, he's got a half a car. Like, remember in the radio, he said, I just can't quite clear him, and he can't do it again.
Now he needed that foot that he was talking about to get by him. Here comes Keselowski, who led that lap.
Back to the stripe, 7 laps to go. Allgaier's opened up some ground.
I'm telling you,
Kyle's in
Allgaier's
fourth.
coming. Yeah, Brad's got to run there, though.
Brad clears him. So it is now Keselowski, Truex, Allgaier, Kyle Busch, your top 4. And boy, how quickly this strung out between those 4.
The thing that was kind of keeping them close before was the 00 and the 22 running side by side. Brad got a nice run.
Okay, that was the fastest lap of the race that Keselowski just ran with all those laps on his tires.
3 wide. Newman's the meat in the sandwich. Sorensen down low. Almirola up high. Here comes Brendan Gaughan. He's looking for one of his best runs in a while.
Yeah, Brendan Gaughan put on 2 tires that last time that he was in the pits.
This time by 5 laps will be remaining.
Again, Keselowski runs a faster lap, fastest lap of the race on 50-lap tires.
Allgaier duking it out with Kyle Busch for 3rd. Allgaier holds on to the position. Joey Logano just a little bit further back with Clint Bowyer behind Logano. That's your top 6 cars. Here they come. 4 laps remaining here at Charlotte. I'm still impressed with the tires and the way they've held up for Brad Keselowski.
Yeah, well, they made some nice adjustments on this car through the night, got him out there, and it looks like all this car needed was some clean air.
Well, he's got it right now, and he has now opened up a 7/10 of a second lead over Martin Truex. This time by 3 laps remaining here at Charlotte. It's not a contest right now up front. Here comes Bowyer. That's your best battle. He's going around Kyle Busch.
Yeah, Kyle just lost 2 spots there. Joey Logano and Clint Bowyer both go by him on that lap.
How about a little further back? Want to go 3 wide again? Kevin Harvick thinks better of it. Newman comes up. That is for 9th, 10th, and 11th. Brendan Gaughan on the high side. Carl Edwards a little bit further back. David Rudiman in the 11 slides up right between them. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the City Financial Ford right behind there in that mix as well as he's coming back through the field. Let's go back up front because here it is with next time by 1 lap remaining. The lead is now up to almost a second. I think the Penske's have got this new car figured out.
Yeah, I think so. It's been an impressive night for both of these Dodges with Allgaier running 3rd.
Brad Keselowski's 1.5 miles away from winning his 2nd race in the new car. Still got debris on that front of the grill again.
I think it's working for him, though. Give him some downforce, and he's going to cruise to victory here.
Not even a contest here late in the race. As he comes to the stripe, Brad Keselowski's going to get his 11th career win and 5th of the year. Truex will be 2nd, Allgaier 3rd, Logano 4th, Clint Bowyer in 5th, Kyle Busch 6th, Sorensen, Almirola, Newman, and Harvick round out the top 10.
Oh, man. Oh.
His first win here at Charlotte.
He's still going full speed. Coming off turn 4.
You saw Paul Wolfe there. He led 3 times for 46 laps.
Thanks, Brad, for sticking with us, man.
Including the final 35 laps. What a great performance tonight by the points leader, Brad Keselowski. Jamie?
Well, the 5th win for this team. Paul, you guys had your work cut out for you from the time you unloaded this car on Wednesday. What did it take to get you guys here back into victory lane?
Just everybody on this discount tire Dodge.
Easy now. You guys got to race that motor again, right?
Working really hard. You know, it's a new car. It's going to take different things at different style tracks we go to. And we were off a good bit on Wednesday. We worked real hard. And Brian, my engineer, we looked at all the data, trying to figure out where we can make some gains. We came back on Thursday and had a good practice. And the guys back at the shop, I can't thank them enough. There's a little work we needed done last night, and to make our car a little better today, and they're able to do that for us and get us the pieces we need this morning. And now that Challenger going to look pretty good in victory lane.
The benefits of racing at home and winning, Marty. They were able to work in the shop to make this car good enough to win.
And for Dodge, they'll finish 1st and 3rd. Toyota will finish 2nd, 4th, and 6th and 7th. And Chevys have the other top 10 positions, 5th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. So spread out. The only ones shut out of the top 10 are the Fords. Stay with us. We'll talk to the race winner when we come back.
NASCAR Nationwide Series at Charlotte is presented by Hellman's, the mayonnaise that's real and delicious. Hellman's. And in part by Nationwide Insurance. Enter this code at codespotter.com for a chance to win a Roush Ford Mustang. And Verizon. Access clips of your favorite drivers, updated leaderboards, and audio of every race with IndyCar Mobile. Text Indy to 3406 to get IndyCar Mobile, only from Verizon.
Back at Charlotte after the 4th of 4 races for the next generation Nationwide Series car this year. Brad Keselowski took the lead for the first time with 61 laps to go. He led 46 of those 61 final laps, though it was never easy over Martin Truex Jr. Let's hear from him, Dave.
And Alan, though he's got somewhat of a smile on his face now after car owner Michael Waltrip and crew chief Mike Ricci talked to him, kind of mad that this one got away, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, kind of bittersweet, you know. Second, it's hard to finish second with a car that good. We battled hard. We had to come in one time, put rounds in the front because we were on the hitting the splitter so hard, and to come back from that was cool. But we were just we were in good shape there until those last couple cautions, and the car was so good on those long green flag runs that we didn't make any adjustments, and that hurt us. You know, once we had those that last caution and the caution flag pit stop, seemed like our car was a little bit tighter from there on out, and that's what won the race or lost the race for us and won it for Brad. But got to thank all these guys on this team. This is, you know, Gricci and these guys are kind of part-time. They're, you know, Kane and East team this year. They won the championship, Ryan. So it's a big deal for them. They ran 5th last time, 2nd this time. And just got to thank Out Pet Care, everybody at Diamond Waltrip Racing, that, you know, everybody that's let me drive this car. And it's been fun, and I want to win again, and I'm going to win again. Just come a little short tonight.
Two-time champ comes home 2nd tonight. Jamie?
And Brad Keselowski climbs from his Dodge, victorious once again. The 5th time this year, grabs the All-American flag and waves it proudly here in Victory Lane. Didn't know where to go, didn't know how to get to Victory Lane this time around, Brad. You guys had that call to stay out. 57 laps on your tires, Brad. What difference did those make versus the fresh air and this tire?
I don't know. I'm so mentally exhausted after this race. It was just, I might be a little biased, but I thought that was the best race I've ever seen in my life. And I was driving the car. I can only imagine what the fans saw. That was awesome. You know, the decision to stay out, we knew our car was really good. We had pitted like 5 laps before the yellow came out, and felt really good about it. And I knew Paul, my crew chief, he made the adjustment right there at the end on the last stop, and my car was just flying. I knew we had what it takes. We quite honestly weren't very good on the test day and weren't very good the very first half of the race, and I gotta give credit to Paul, man. That guy is amazing. Gave me the car I needed to win with at the end, and it was just, this Challenger flew. God dang, I'm so proud of Dodge and everyone at Penske Racing to put this car together, because it's hauling the mail, and it's really an honor to get to drive cars like this. So proud of everybody on the whole team, and proud for Discount Tire and Dodge, and really glad that this car puts on such a great show for the fans. Thank you guys. Without you, none of this is possible, so thank you.
Second one with this new car, but you got to let us in on a little secret. We listened in on your radio, and you talked about this restart procedure, and you needed a little help because it was feast or famine. Tell us about it. It obviously worked at the end there.
Yeah, I mean, a couple weeks ago with Joey, I gave him a push, and it helped him win. And it seems like these restarts, you know, we got the restricted taper, whatever thing they put on the cow, and it takes a little horsepower out. And so though, to get going is really hard. So if you can get a bump draft, your cars just fly. It's really, really dangerous. When somebody bumps you, you can spin out. But thankful I had two good guys. I had my teammate who did a great job on the last restart, and Joey Logano gave me perfect pushes and was able to carry it to victory lane.
You've won on Super Speedway, short tracks, and now his first 1.5 miles. Let's go over to Vince.
Yeah, it was a good night for his teammate Justin Allgaier, as well as 4th straight top 10. And I want to know how far you've come from Wednesday when you guys showed up here for the test day to finishing 3rd tonight.
I tell you what, these Verizon Dodge Challenger guys did an awesome job. When we showed up Wednesday, we did not have a race car that was capable of even running in the top 20, let alone winning the race and running 3rd. All of these guys worked together as a group. I hate it for Parker Kligerman, our teammate, because I know he was going to, set to have a strong run as well. But just had so much fun tonight. Nationwide does an awesome job of this series, and just race was a blast. I hope it was for everybody watching it on TV, because we just had so much fun out there. And I got to thank God for giving me the ability to do this. Right now, it's been tough with everything that's been swirling around what's going to happen next year, and to be able to come out and to run as well as we have been, it's been pretty awesome. And just thank these guys, man. It's I know I keep saying it, but the Penske engines are awesome. The cars, all of our partners at Penske Racing. It's just it's an honor to get behind the wheel of one of these and be able to run as good as we did tonight.
Yeah, great night for the Penske Dodgers. Justin Allgaier, 3rd place. Doc?
Well, Crew Chief Tony Uri Jr. talking to Danica Patrick and discussing exactly what the night they had, and actually talking about how proud he is of the job she did tonight with this race car. First time ever at Charlotte Motor Speedway, first time in a nationwide car here, and we'll go over and chat with Danica. Danica, career best 21st place finish. Take us through your night.
I said on the way in, I said, it seems like every time we have that chance to have a great finish, we crash, and then every time we have a pretty average night, I finish in the 20s. So, it's what it is. We were running a little hot on the first run, and like nearly had to pit for heat, and so that's not good for it. And then we took tape off, and I guess they said too much came off, and you lose the nose weight then, and so it was just overall I felt like the car had a little less downforce than it had downforce. Look at my words. A little less, like it just felt like it wasn't into the ground as much. It didn't feel like it was stuck as well. So we tried to work with it, and a couple changes were good in the race, but nothing overcame that feeling of not being gripped up out there. And so, Tony Jr., we did our best. And you know what? We had some high points this weekend, and that hasn't happened a lot of other times I've been to a track for the first time. So we'll take the high points, and we'll take a non-crashed car home and learn from this new car this time, and move on. I know the rest of them are all new tracks for me as well, but the good news is that next year they won't be new tracks for me. So hopefully we can have that kind of improvement we saw last weekend at Fontana. But it was a bummer there in the middle. All those yellows came out, and I think I finally got in a lucky dog position, and then it was the longest green. So that's all right, bummer we couldn't have had a better night in the GoDaddy car, but that's okay. We got a few more.
Danica Patrick able to find a lot of positives about what happened here tonight. Dave?
Well, Clint Boyer had some positives going on tonight as well, Doc. 29 laps led, 1 speeding penalty. At the end of the day, though, Clint, what was the difference with your race car?
Nah, just that pit road penalty was my fault. My pit road speed on what I saw on the signal didn't quite match what I saw, back there on the caution car, and it bit us. At the end of the day, you always trust that thing because it's calculated and it's always right. But I know that I wasn't speeding out here according to my lights and my number because I was worried about it anyway. So I'd say we just was off just a tick. But all in all, it was a good day. Set on a pole, Zaxby Chevrolet. I finished the race. I didn't crash. It's not snake bit. I'm back.
It's your best finish of the year. Best finish of the year, too, in the 21. So congratulations. Clint Boyer.
Joey Logano, top 5, 4th place tonight. How important were those restarts? Because it seems so difficult to pass once you started to sort it out.
I kind of looked at it, actually. If you were starting 4th, that was like starting 2nd. The outside lane was a big deal. And, if you're on the inside lane, you're pretty much screwed. There's not much you can do. Maybe try to get a good run, through 1 and 2. But if they're still on the outside of you off of 2, they get a big run on the backstretch. And that's what we had the last restart. We started 3rd, and I tried to push Martin up there and at least try to get myself up there a little bit too. And didn't get cleared off, and we went back to 5th or 6th, got a couple back, but we're just not good enough yet. We're we're a lot better than Michigan for sure with our GameStop Toyota, but we still a little bit of work to do to catch up with these guys. And it's interesting to see, during the race how, the guys that were leading most of the race ended up, behind me. So it was kind of interesting to see that, and we should kind of think of the adjustments we were making and, adjustments everyone else was making. I think there's something to that. So I think we need to figure out what makes our cars better and worse on our pit stops, and I think eventually we'll have this figured out.
Heading in the right direction, though. Good run. Joey Logano, 4th tonight. Alan?
All right, Vince, thanks. And as the photos begin to be taken in Victory Lane with Brad Keselowski and his team, we think back on some of the storylines that we set for this night when we started on NASCAR Countdown just before the green flag. The Gibbs team, would they get this car figured out? Better, 4th and 6th, but not quite. You just heard Joey Logano say, no paybacks from Danica. And the overriding storyline, what kind of race were we going to see? Well, my impression, and I'll get your reaction, was these guys worked hard, and they seemed to really be in a chess match out there trying to figure out where to place their car and how to get it to work in the air around the other cars successfully.
I would agree with that. Everything you just said, I agree with. And some of the observations I had, taking some notes here, everybody's complaining about restarts. Not enough power to really get the cars going, Brad. A little concerned there. And here drafting, they were really drafting good into straightaways. If a car was behind, it could really suck up on the back of the other car pretty easy. And the power thing, restart problem. So there's 3 things there I noted that I think they need to go back and go to work on and get ready, because this new car is definitely driving a little bit different.
I think with this new car, I think what we've seen is it's maybe letting the wind out of some of these guys' sails as far as their ability to drive. All of them are great drivers, but it's obviously that a few of these guys have had great race cars as well as we've gone throughout this year. And now we saw some drivers come to the front who showed their abilities. It's just not all about having great race cars.
Well, what you're saying, it doesn't sound like Charlotte. It sounds like Talladega. We heard guys talking about side drafting and bump drafting and managing the air. So this car is definitely going to present some unique racing going forward.
And a lot for the drivers and teams to get used to it. Again, we won't see this next generation car the rest of 2010, but we will see it for the entire 2011 season, and a lot of data gathered tonight for these teams to go back and noodle on as they look forward. Let us look forward now to tomorrow night's chase race number 5, the Bank of America 500 for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Jeff Gordon on the pole. We saw the qualifying on Thursday night. We saw the final practices tonight. A thought looking ahead to Saturday night's race.
Well, I'm going to ride the Tony Stewart bandwagon. I think that he's got a lot of momentum on his side. He practiced decent. There's some good cars, but I really heard today in practice that Jeff Gordon's really unhappy with his car, but he's on the front row for tomorrow's race.
I hear he is concerned being up front, but hey, maybe Jeff Gordon can leave from bell to buzzer tomorrow and get back in this Chase Championship and march towards his 5th championship.
Well, that's the old Jeff Gordon. He was complaining in practice out on the pole. He's complaining in practice today. Tomorrow night with 100 miles to go, I think 24 cars going to be up front.
Got some of these guys starting deep in the field. You mentioned Rusty. You mentioned Tony Stewart starting back in 29th position for the race. Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, 24th and 23rd, while Jeff Gordon, Carl Edwards on the front row, and Kyle Busch starting up front as well. Kyle's a guy that caught my eye in practice today, looking pretty good, and seemed like his team had their car pretty well together for Saturday night.
Yeah, the 18 is working good, and Kyle got out of the car and smiled and patted Dave Rogers on the back right at the end of practice there. So, that's always a good sign. I'll tell you another guy we've really got to watch that was strong in both practices is number 9 car with Case King.
Yeah, I think it was interesting yesterday's qualifying. If you look at it, they qualified early. The guys that went out early, their speeds held up throughout qualifying as the sun dropped, and it cooled off even more. So I found that to be pretty interesting. It'll be interesting to see what the racetrack does tomorrow night.
One thing we really need to take a look at when talking about the racetrack, the Cup cars actually have less downforce than these cars do. We saw problems off of turn 2. We saw problems off of turn 4. Those Cup guys are going to amp it up a little bit, run pretty hard. So
does that mean we can add 1 and 3 to it tomorrow?
Well, I know we can at least talk about turn 2 and turn 4 of some spins, and I believe that's going to happen. I'd almost guarantee it, Brad.
Top 4 drivers within 85 points. 5th place Tony Stewart, only 107 points back. Race 5 in the chase comes up tomorrow night. We'll remind you, we'll get you ready for that race with NASCAR Now at 9 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow morning. Follow it up with the post-race coverage at 1 a.m. Eastern after the race. That is NASCAR Now, ESPN2. Tomorrow, the Bank of America 500 is on ABC. The race is at 7:30 Eastern. We'll start with NASCAR Countdown at 7 Eastern Time. And then for this Nationwide Series, it's a standalone race next weekend off to Gateway International Raceway near St. Louis. It's at 3 Eastern. That is next Saturday here on ESPN2. Tip of the cap to our ESPN NASCAR team. 8 hours of television live from this racetrack today. Great job, boys and girls, and we'll do it all again tomorrow night. Great job by Brad Keselowski. A ferocious fight over the final 60 laps of this race with Martin Truex Jr. And Keselowski comes out on top and picks up, yes, his 5th win of the 2010 season.